Okay. So wrong? Oh, but then something isn't wrong? Huh? What? I'm so confused right now. Are we live? Are we not live? What is going on? We are live. All right, everybody. Let me pull this up. I'm Alex R. Wagner, and welcome to another episode of No News is News. I'm your host, Alex R. Wagner, and let's get the party started. How's everybody doing? We got a lot of news tonight. A lot of news. I didn't even get any clips up today. That's how crazy the news was, right? We have Trump at a police conference in New York. New York taking over, though, because Mangione saying he did it, man. As the great Tyler Robinson defender, I don't know, some random dude, yells at Candace Owens for 2.5 hours. Woo!
Right, left, everybody gets hit.
Left, everybody, here we go.
Gets hit. No news. It's news.
President in 2028, 816 days until election, and we've got
who's lying.
Well, Rubio is JD Vance is still retired. JD Vance is still retired.
Who's getting
So we gotta pull up
roasted tonight?
Presidential 2028 countdown.
No news is news. We're breaking everything just for spite.
There we go. Let's pull that up. There we go.
No news.
All right. So we got Rubio, Gavin, John Ossoff, and AOC once again. And Rubio's got 20 wins now. Let's do it. Marco Rubio, 20 wins. Gavin Newsom, 22 wins. Then we've got Mr. John Ossoff, 1 win. And then we've got AOC starting the poll of the day now, y'all.
Is news.
And there
The whole world's
we
on
go.
fire and it looks so bright.
Let's start right
No
now
news.
with a little bit of the news, guys. Let's get into it.
Right. Right. Left. Everybody gets hit. Left.
Just so y'all know, this is AI, but it's our own version of the Hamilton theme song.
It's news. No news. It's news.
Double tap, hit that like button, hit subscribe, y'all.
Welcome to No News is News.
Woo! Let's get it started. All right. 18 hours ago, CNN, new details on Iranian plot to kill Trump at NATO. By the time President Trump walked on stage at the end of last month's NATO summit in Turkey, the plan to sprint him out of the country was already in motion. Earlier that day, American officials had come to the president with alarming information. The Iranians knew which luxury chain hotel he'd been staying at in Ukraine. They were aware of how his motorcade was moving around the Turkish capital, and they remained intent on killing him, potentially by using a shoulder-mounted missile to take down Air Force One. The level of detail Iran had been able to ascertain about Trump's arrangements in the Turkish capital alarmed his team, even though some American officials thought it implausible that an Iranian plot to kill him could be successful at the highly fortified NATO summit. The Israeli government had shared intelligence of potential Iranian assassination plot with the CIA, one of the officials said. However, the agency, as well as some of Trump's officials, viewed the Israeli intelligence skeptically. Some within the CIA had raised questions about the credibility of the intelligence, as well as whether Iran even had such capabilities to carry out such an attack. Still, the disclosures led to dramatically heightened state of alert among American officials. Iran's active threats on Trump's life, calls at the Ayatollah's funeral that week for Trump to be killed, along with 3 separate assassination attempts in the United States, have long created an uneasy atmosphere for his team. And the Wall Street Journal reports Elon Musk has committed to spend at least $100 million to his America PAC to help Republicans maintain majorities in Congress in the midterm elections. He spent nearly $300 million to help re-elect Trump in 2024. However, Musk has signaled that he won't be visible as he was in the last election and during his polarizing, often chaotic role overseeing Doge. I think I got a little too involved in politics, Musk told The Economist last month. The Associated Press, Trump asks the Supreme Court to let White House resume ballroom construction work during appeal. Trump administration has asked the United States Supreme Court to allow the White House to resume construction on its $400 million ballroom project while it appeals a lower court order to pause the work. Trump's Secular General on Friday petitioned the High Court to suspend last week's decision by a 3-judge panel from the U.S. Court of Appeals for the District of Columbia Circuit. The divided panel ruled last week Trump must stop the White House ballroom's construction because Congress has not approved the project. The panel's majority said Trump didn't have the unilateral authority to build a 90,000 square foot ballroom where the White House East Wing stood before he ordered its demolition last fall. If I was Daddy Trump right now, I'd be like, you know what, fuck it. No, don't go to the Supreme Court. We're going to make Congress actually have to do their job. We're going to do a January 6th fucking style, stop the steal style fucking rally right in front of this pit that we're not allowed to do the construction in anymore. And we're going to say, hey, everybody, throw your garbage in the pit. Because this is the pit that Congress has created because legally I'm not allowed to build this building with my own money and help out the American people because Congress needs to approve me building in the executive first. I know separate but equal, but the legislator, they're in charge of everything, including the executive branch. And so we're just going to throw our McDonald's garbage in this pit, and we're just going to have this giant pit on the White House lawn. And we're going to continue to have this giant pit on the White House lawn until the legislator wants to actually do something. That's what I would do if I was Donald Trump. The lower court suspended its own ruling for 2 weeks to give Trump's Republican administration time to appeal the Supreme Court. The Secular General asked the Supreme Court to rule on its stay petition before the appeal court panel's decision takes effect on August 21st. Luigi Mangione Luigi Mangione admitted to murdering the UnitedHealthcare executive Friday as he pled guilty to federal stalking charges. I shot Mr. Thompson in Manhattan, Mangione told the judge in court. I understood that my actions would place him in fear of death or bodily injury. I knew what I was doing was illegal. Mangione described the killing of Brian Thompson. After enduring years of severe pain from an injured back, he tracked down the location of the UnitedHealthcare conference, in part by soliciting information from the company by posing as an investor. He said he shot Thompson with a gun he printed using a 3D printer. Notably, Mangione was not a UnitedHealthcare customer. Luigi Mangione's lawyer. Today, in a solemn and signified day with today's guilty plea, Mr. Mangione has accepted full responsibility for the death of Brian Thompson. As Luigi explains in court today, he endured years of severe, debilitating pain following a broken back while struggling to navigate our healthcare and health insurance systems. Like the thousands of people who have reached out since the tragedy to share their own experiences, he believes that the system has failed him and destroyed his life. And same as fucking Lindsay Clancy has a better argument than you do, my guy. At least you knew what you were doing. NBC News. Mangione sentencing is scheduled for December 18th. Mangione faces a maximum sentence of life in prison, and prosecutors suggest that his sentencing range under federal guidelines would be 24 to 30 years in prison. Prosecutors later clarified that they would be recommending life in prison, the steepest sentence available. He will be sentenced at a separate hearing on December 18th, and the final sentence will be determined by the judge, who has full discretion. His federal court guilty plea is expected to kick off a double jeopardy fight in the state, where he is still facing murder charges and the possibility of life in prison. Mangione's defense is expected to argue that the cases cover the same alleged conduct, and the proceeding with the state court trial would amount to a legal violation. Yeah. So basically, people are saying all over the world right now, they're like, well, how can they, this is a murder charge and this is a stalking charge. The federal government, Joe Biden's federal government, the FBI at the time of this murder, was it during Joe Biden? It might have been during Trump, but whoever. The FBI determined that the highest charge that they wanted to go with prosecution-wise for this narrative, for this situation, was the stalking charge. The stalking charge. The other, the murder, is a state charge because the state are the ones bringing that evidence that he killed him. The FBI said, we don't have evidence this guy killed him. We have evidence that this guy was stalking him, and we can lock him up for that. Well, if you're going to admit to the moment, which is being caught in the McDonald's, having the gun in Central Park, shooting the CEO, everything that you did, then you are taking that case. You cannot, that is double jeopardy. You cannot then prosecute that incident on a different level in a different court. And the reason that they were doing this to begin with is because the state knew that there wasn't as much evidence for the murder charge as there was for the stalking charge. The FBI knew they could get the stalking charge. The state is New York, so they're going to do exactly what they did with Trump. They're going to agitate it. They're going to aggressify it. It's ridiculous, and they kind of, like New York State, allowed him this ability to maneuver this and potentially get himself a 30-year sentence. But now the FBI has to prosecute this case on December 18th, and I really don't think they're going to do anything other than life in prison. But people on Fox News, the people defending the CEO and all that shit, they're going to fucking say, well, this is a tragedy still because he should have the death penalty, and now he can't even have the death penalty. And then they'll blame the Democrats in the New York for fucking doing it to him and blah, blah, blah. And it's just a bunch of bullshit. But as long as he stays in prison, whatever, he stays in prison. At this point, like with the Lindsay Clancy shit, I'm like, how are we, like, she didn't get 5150'd. Can we just lock up everyone that works at that hospital? Because she was insane, and you guys just let her murder her kids. Like, we continue to just fucking constantly stick up for Big Pharma for, like, literally no reason, people. The family of Brian Thompson, the healthcare executive killed in 2024, said in a statement that today, so it was Trump's FBI. The family of Brian Thompson, the healthcare CEO executive killed in 2024, said in a statement that today's guilty plea marks an important step forward, justice for Brian and for our family. He and his wife had 2 teenage sons at the time of his passing. I think from the family's perspective, they're like, if they lock him up on the federal charge, then like so be it. Like if they lock him up on the federal charge, then so be it. But if they end up giving him 30 years on the federal charge, you wait. Then the family's gonna. But again, the family is extremely rich billionaires tied to the FBI. They're gonna fucking go out and have brunch afterwards. You really think they're gonna not put this guy in life in prison? It's all done. It was all a maneuver to not have us have to watch it on public television and have to justify whether this guy was wrong or right or whatever. We did not want this to be an OJ moment. Tyler Robinson? Sure, OJ moment. The fucking Lindsay Clancy thing? Absolutely OJ moment. But again, like, I think she should have been 5150 and we should be fucking prosecuting the hospital, but that's just fucking me. While nothing will ease the pain of losing him, we are grateful that the federal justice system has held a person responsible for his hideous act accountable, the statement continued. Now we look to the court to ensure the sentencing reflects the severity of the crime. Exactly. They're not fighting for the state charge. They're not fighting the double jeopardy. They're literally like, okay, now, federal judge, this better be life in prison, or else all of the money of Big Pharma comes after you. And with that said, guys, that is our news for the night. Let's get into it now. Donald Trump speaks to reporters on the tarmac before he goes to New York. Daddy Trump in New York as well today as he sits down and does a speech at the police academy. But first, here's him getting off the plane. Or off the helicopter, it looks like. Do we not have any audio on this? It's bad. There's no audio on it? Alright, well, that was fucking dumb. Why the hell did they do that? Fucking C-SPAN. Alright, here we go, guys. Donald Trump at the police academy. And I'm proud to be
Nassau
in
County, New York, where President Trump is expected to
include a 20%.
What's this guy doing up here? He's gonna actually talk?
Country to watch their son.
What are you doing? This guy's fucking out here being like, you see that Candace Owens debate? You see that we locked up Mangione? You see that I'm not cross-eyed anymore? What's going on, Kash Patel? What are you doing? What are you doing, my buddy?
And there's one reason for that.
My little Indian buddy.
I'm living the American dream because of the men and women in law enforcement. Because these guys kept us safe every single day when we didn't ask them to. They didn't care where we came from. They didn't care about the color of our skin. Thank you from the bottom of our hearts. You guys are the bravest warriors on God's green earth. It's especially humbling to be here with the President of the United States, who's going to come out and announce the largest reduction in violent crime in the history of the United States of America.
Bro got on Ozempic.
President
definitely got
Trump,
Ozempic.
thank you for backing law enforcement. Thank you for funding law enforcement. Thank you for loving law enforcement. Thank you for relentlessly pursuing the mission of justice with the warriors of justice across this country. The men and women of law enforcement love you, and that is why we are seeing these historic results around the country, to include a 20% drop in the national homicide rate, to include a 20% reduction in drug overdose deaths, to include violent offenders seized from around the world. This FBI has led the charge to arrest 8 of the top 10 most wanted fugitives on planet Earth in the last 16 months under President Trump.
8 of the top 10? Wow. I mean, bro's looking like a skinny non-Indian. I don't know what he's doing. He like fixes cross-eyed too somehow.
As he campaigned, he is delivering on that promise.
What's going on?
And it is such an honor to be here in Nassau County, back in my home, when he's about to walk on stage and give you the latest update on the statistics. And they are not just statistics. I've spent 10 years working for President Trump. He reads about each and every case that we work on. He feels the pain of those that have lost loved ones. He does not let it lay aside. He takes it home with him. He demands that myself and our amazing Attorney General, Todd Blanche, go to work every single day to make sure that American lives are safeguarded, that no more of our kids are harmlessly and recklessly annihilated by opioids or by illegal immigrants or by gangsters or narco traffickers. President Trump, you have succeeded in restoring law and order to the precipice it should be on. The men and women in law and order across this country have partnered with the federal agencies, including the FBI and our prosecutor partners at the Department of Justice, to apprehend twice as many violent offenders in the last 16 months as they did in the last 2 years of the Biden administration alone. And selfishly, President Trump, I'm living the American dream because of you. I'm living the American dream because you backed the law and order. You backed the blue. You funded the police. And you let the men and women of law enforcement put the handcuffs on bad guys instead of put the handcuffs on them. So we are going to continue this mission together. We're going to carry forward the mission of crushing violent crime and defending the homeland. We are going to be relentless pursuers of justice. We are going to safeguard our communities. We are going to save our kids. And thanks to President Trump's brilliant leadership, the American dream is not a dream anymore. It is a reality. I'm living it. We're living it together. Thank you, Nassau County. Thank you, Strong Island. Thank you to the men and women of law and order.
Okay. Who's next?
Is to celebrate what we've done, making America safe again and delivering on President Trump's promise. And that's something we should all celebrate today. The Department of Justice, for starters, is dismantling foreign terrorist organizations and drug cartels. Since President Trump took office, the leaders of the Sinaloa cartel and the CJNG cartels have come here, been convicted, and not been sentenced to a number of years in prison. They were sentenced to letters, L-I-F-E. And we are not stopping with the leaders of the cartels. We're going after every single drug dealer, every single person who helps deal poison and sell poison in our community, whether they're laundering the money, whether they're facilitating the transfers. And that's something that is a whole of government approach. We're using Homeland Security task forces. What that means for Nassau County and what that means for New York is that we're combining every federal officer, DHS, FBI, ATF, DEA, U.S. Marshals, working with troopers, working with law enforcement, like right behind me right now, and their whole objective is to arrest bad guys. As Kash just told you, it is hard to overstate the effectiveness of what we did in 2025. The first year of this administration, we saw the largest decrease in violent crimes in 100 years. And what that shows you, it shows you what happens when you have a leader, when you have President Trump empowering all of us, empowering me, empowering federal law enforcement to partner with our...
Doesn't it kind of sound like a Hillary Clinton speech from 2016? Or 2015, I should say. Doesn't it kind of sound like that? We as men are empowered. This is the revolution of cucking yourself.
Our state and local cops, sheriffs, everybody. It happens when you back the blue.
Good job. We back the blue every time, no matter what.
My Department of Justice.
You guys are the reason that I was able to interview Ghislaine Maxwell for fucking 8 hours and then put her in a fucking nice little tennis court. Thank you. Thank you.
Touches a federal law enforcement officer in any way inappropriate, we will prosecute them to the fullest extent of the law.
Don't touch my inappropriates. It sounds like the same shit in reverse, don't it?
I was recently confirmed.
Like the fucking Karen shit, except now it's like, oh, protect the police. Protect the police.
And I am not taking my foot off the gas. I know that
you never had it on the gas, my buddy.
Many in this room, many behind me, they want to know that their leaders support them, and we do. They want to know that we support the work they're doing, the fact that they're sacrificing their lives, that they're missing holidays, they're missing weekends, they're missing dinners, so that we all can live in a safe community. And I will commit that I will hold every criminal accountable until every community in this country is as safe as Nassau County. So I am the last speaker before the main event, President Trump. And I am thrilled and honored and humbled to be able to spend a few minutes with you today, but I know that you are not here to hear from me. And so I will end by saying, first of all, thank you. If you are a member of law enforcement like you guys, thank you. If you have a loved one, if you have a brother, if you have a sister, a parent, a son, a friend who's a cop, the next time you see them, tell them thank you on my behalf, because it is truly an honor to lead the Department of Justice, but I know that the work that I do is really nothing compared to the men and women in law enforcement do every day. So I want to thank you guys for being here today. I want to thank President Trump for his leadership. And I want to tell you, God bless America, God bless the blue, and God bless everybody in this room. Thank you very much.
God bless whatever eye doctor fucking Kash Patel got. God bless America.
Violent crime statistics.
It's impact to this country.
Oh, I thought it was gonna come. So he's just gonna take him a while before he gets here. Let's see. Oh, here he comes. There he is.
But I do love it. A lot of people outside, but I just want to say a very special hello to New York and a very, very special hello, Long Island. I love you. I'm thrilled to be back in the state I love, and I do love it. I'm so proud of it, but it's going in bad direction. We got to change it around. We'll get Bruce in there. We'll change it around. We're going to change it around. You watch, he's going to do well, but to be with the hardworking patriots of Nassau County, appreciate it. And we're especially grateful.
This is so fucking Staten Island, it's not even... Like, the second he gets up there, they're like, yo, Donald Trump! And he's like, can you shut the fuck up?
To be joined by the incredible men and women of Nassau County Police Department and a lot of other law enforcement. I've known them a long time. There's never any problems, I'll tell you. They're winners. They're just winners, pure and simple. And thanks as well to your brothers and sisters in New York's finest, the New York PD. We love our New York PD. And we're here today to celebrate the historic progress our administration is making together with law enforcement partners nationwide to restore law and order in America. Very simple. A very simple phrase, isn't it? And with these professionals, it's a very easy thing to do. You have to give them, you have to let them do their job. That's all there is. You won't have any problem. That includes right here on Long Island, where under the leadership of your county executive, a great person, a friend of mine for a long time, a great political leader, a great politician, but I don't want to say that negatively. He's a great politician. He wins all the time. He won in a big surprise like 8 or 9 years ago. I remember I said, man, that's tough for you to win in that location. And then he's won in landslides ever since, and he's a winner, Bruce Blakeman. And I said it. I said when Bruce's name got up, I said, you know, if they give that guy just a little bit of a chance, just a little bit of fair treatment from the fake news and everyone else, he's going to win. No, he's going to win. I mean it. But under Bruce, think of this. Nassau County has been rated the #1 safest county in the United States of America. That's not bad. That's not bad. Think of that. The #1 safest county in the United States of America. There's, I think, 6,700 counties. That's not bad, Bruce. Keep it up. Do a little bit better next time. How do you top that? U.S. News and World Report gives you a perfect score in terms of crime. 100 out of 100. And under the Trump administration, we're working every day with leaders like Bruce and local police like we have here. We have some of the greatest police officers in the world in this room. And a lot of them, unfortunately, they're standing outside trying to get in. Should we let them in? I don't know. We don't have any room, but let's let them in anyway. Who the hell cares? Who cares? Let's let them in anyway. But dangerous offenders off our streets, and they've taken them, they've brought them off our streets, put savage criminals behind bars, and you know what they're doing? They're making America safe again. They've done a fantastic job. And in the past 4 years before I took office, our country was overrun by violent criminals. I mean, you remember just a couple of years ago how bad it was, right? It was really bad. Foreign gangs, savage thugs with Biden. Sleepy Joe. What a horrible 4 years. That was 4 years in hell. We lived in hell.
I mean, he's
With
sort of
Biden
back
and
now.
The radical left.
That's the one thing I'm getting out of this is like, when he was out in Vegas and had that weird haircut or whatever the fuck was going on with that thing, and then like for the next week after El Said, it felt real weird. But after Hong lost, and now he took a few days off, and he came back now, and he's in a big crowd, maybe Trumpism continues after 2028. But it felt like it was going to fade and we were going to get into this like embroiled Muslim Jew battle over like religious politics. It's starting to feel like everybody doesn't want to do that. Right. And that's the Rubio 2028 is that doesn't want to do that. Like if you're team Israel, you're going to go with JD Vance. If you're fucking team wacko, you're going to go with, you know, AOC or Gavin Newsom. But if you're team Rubio, you're kind of like, let's just keep doing this and let's not go into this whole Muslim Jew thing.
Democrats, we call them Democrats now because their policies are so dumb.
Relax.
Fighting to
Jerry,
defund
you're inside,
the police.
bro.
Does that play well in this room?
Come here.
Is there anybody that's in favor of defunding the police in this particular?
No, they're going to
You'd be afraid to say it if you were. And wide open borders with millions and millions of people pouring in from all over the world, including prisons and jails and mental institutions, insane asylum. You know what that is? That's a mental institution on steroids. You know that. They come from both, including 11,888 murderers, many of whom have killed more than one person. More than 50% killed more than one person. And we took them in with open arms. How stupid could we be? But we're getting them the hell out. They're moving out fast. We're getting them out, and you're helping. And the biggest problem we have, the biggest impediment we have are sanctuary cities, you know, where they protect criminals. It's called a sanctuary for criminals. We ought to change the name, a sanctuary for criminals. But the day I took the oath of office as your 47th president, we ended the border invasion. By the way, we have the best border now in the history of our country. We ended the war on police, and we declared a very strong war on crime. It's been really amazing. We've led our outstanding new Attorney General, happens to be with us. I was surprised to see him. He just got sworn in 2 days ago. Todd Blanche, he's going to be a legend. Where's Todd?
Well, he's got to make sure that Luigi Mangione makes his way to a minimum security prison, just like Ghislaine Maxwell, right?
I know him very well. I know him for a long time. He's going to be the greatest maybe ever. We had some good ones in the country. I think he's going to go down. He's got a shot at being the greatest ever. If he remains tough and strong, he'll never change. Are you going to change your ways? I don't think so. If he doesn't change his ways, he's
minimum
go
security prisons for everyone attached to you,
even for being here. He just got sworn in, as well as a Long Island native, born right here, and he's doing a good job. And those numbers are the best numbers anybody's ever seen. FBI Director Kash Patel.
Oh my God. All right, guys. Make sure you double tap, hit that like button, hit subscribe. You are watching No News is News live at least 3 hours a day, sometimes even 10 hours a day, 7 days a week. Hit that notification bell so that you know when we go live every time. And throw out a $5 super chat. Add somebody's name as a candidate to the poll of the day. Throw out a $10 super chat and you can remove somebody's name from the poll of the day. Doing our poll of the day every day since the beginning of the Iran war. JD Vance currently retired, up 60 wins right now. Everybody else on the board. Let's get back to Daddy Trump. Thank you all for helping out. Make sure you join if you love the show so much, just like Two Gun Cohen. Become a comrade. Get that little tiny flag next to your name.
Best numbers anybody's ever seen on crime. And with your help, last year we achieved the largest drop in murder rate ever recorded, the lowest level in 125 years. That's since the year 1900. That was before my father was born. He would not have liked me saying that because he always liked to say he's quite young. But he wouldn't have liked that. Think of it, 125 years ago, we broke the record. It's amazing. It's amazing. So I just want to thank all of the people in this room. And today I'm thrilled to announce that the FBI has just released the new Uniform Crime Report showing that in 2025, we achieved the single largest reduction in violent crime in American history. Pretty amazing. And last year, there were over 3,100 fewer murders than the year before I took over. Remember this, and we allowed through this stupid open
Boom! Two Gun Cohen with the fucking super chat. Thank you so much. Appreciate you, Two Gun Cohen. Would you like to add somebody to the poll of the day? Let me know. Throw it out there.
25 million people to come into our country. Many of them
appreciate
are now
you so
gone,
much
but
with the super chat, my guy.
25 million people. That's the number. That's the real number to come into our country. Many of them, the people I just said, drug dealers, prisoners from all over the world. They came in from the Congo.
Hunter Biden it is. We're going to leave the audio rolling. The poll of the day is going to reset. And since it's resetting right now, John Ossoff is getting kicked off the poll of the day and being replaced with Two Gun Cohen's $5 super chat for Hunter Biden. Remember, $5 super chat, you can add anybody to the poll of the day. $10 super chat, you can remove anybody's name from the poll of the day. Let's keep backing up Daddy Trump in the audio as I get this going, guys.
And despite that, we have the best crime record in recorded history. 2,000, think of this, rapes, 10,000 fewer. We had 10,000 fewer rapes than the year before. 1 million fewer assaults, robberies, burglaries. The numbers, every single number is first time it's ever happened. Every single number is the lowest number in recorded history. And according to the latest data, crime has continued to plummet under our leadership in 2026, with robberies down another 20% and murders down another 23%. So the numbers you just heard, the preliminary numbers for just now, are even lower than the record numbers that you just heard. So it's a great tribute to all of the people in this room. Together we're showing what is possible when you finally have a president in the White House who supports our police.
Thank you again,
who
Two
lets
Gun
you
Cohen,
do
for
your
that super
jobs,
chat. Appreciate you supporting the channel, my guy.
and
Keeping
who
us
always
independent,
backs
sponsor free.
The blue. We back the blue. And you know, and I have been from the beginning, long before I ran for office. Who would have thought 10 years ago? I've been doing this for now a long time, but not that long if you think I'm president, if you think. It's a pretty quick trip. But I'm with you.
I'm surprised Donald Trump didn't win when you put in Donald Trump yesterday. You put in Donald Trump yesterday, and he was winning, and then still we still ended up going with Rubio. It kind of shows you how people like lean into the team politics of it all. They want to be on the winning team so badly that they don't even want to like have fun with their own votes. They want to make sure they're my person. But right now, Gavin Newsom leading with 67% right now.
And
what did you do to
100%. 100%. And my administration is proving billions, and we're giving you billions and billions of dollars to hire, equip, and train new police officers. We're giving you more money than you've ever been given in history. More money, and you're going out and you're buying the best equipment you can buy. As president, I will always protect our qualified immunity. Would you like qualified immunity, everybody? Qualified immunity. It's always very important. I also deployed the National Guard and federal law enforcement to restore public safety in our nation's capital, Washington, D.C. And in D.C., Memphis, and New Orleans, we've removed over 30,000 criminals from the streets in a single year. In Memphis, crime is down 71%. In New Orleans, crime is down 75%. And in D.C., crime is down 81%. I'll tell you, because D.C. is very personal for me, but in D.C., crime is now, it was so bad when I got there a year and a half ago. People were being murdered, 3 a week on average. We have very few murders anymore. We have very little crime anymore. We've taken it from the worst, one of the most dangerous cities. Can you imagine our nation's capital, one of the most dangerous cities in the country? We've taken it to one of the safest cities of the country, in the country. And we moved them out. We moved almost 5,000 people out of D.C. And you know, it's a very interesting stat. 2% of the people create 91% of the crime. I love that stat because we can handle 2% of the people. It was 60% of the people, we got problems. It's 2%. They're repeat criminals, sometimes 3-4 times a day with this cashless bail stuff.
3-4 times a day?
Repeat. They go into court. The judge says, "Oh, you can go," and they go out and create another crime. But think of it: 2% create 91% of the crime, and that's something we handled very well. We moved out in Washington almost 5,000, in many cases, career criminals. They're not there anymore. And every day I come to the White House, people are thanking me. "Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you, sir." No, these young, beautiful girls, in the White House, you know, they come in. Now, I'm not supposed to say beautiful, but what the hell?
You're not supposed to say silly. You're not supposed to say young, bro. That's the part you haven't been saying in this script. You just kind of put that in there today and just keep screaming young, beautiful girls. What do we, that's going to get clipped way out of context.
These gorgeous, beautiful girls, they want to be safe, and they come, "Mr. President, may I speak to you?" "Yes." "Thank you, sir. Thank you." I said, "Why are you thanking me?" "Because a year and a half ago, I was afraid to leave. I was afraid to open the door of my apartment. And now I walk to the White House every morning, and I have absolutely no fear." "Thank you, sir." Now I get it all the time. Men, women, older men, younger men, and older women and younger women. They're all saying thank you. And I know
Way to walk that back, Mr. Donnie.
exactly what they mean. We lived in a hellhole. 2 years ago, we were in a hellhole.
Older and
now we have
younger,
one of the
women
safest
and men
cities.
now.
It should be safe. It's our nation's
Not the
capital.
young women.
We
Let's
represent
not
the whole
talk about the young
universe,
women.
frankly, because there's nothing like the United States. Look at what we've done. Thank you. And you know, for other cities like New York, Chicago, LA, all they have to do is call us and we will stop that crime. We'll stop that horrible crime. We come in with the right people. We come in with the power to move people out of the country if they're here illegally, and a lot of them are criminals that were let in through that open border, that horrible. Remember the scene? Remember the scene? Well, you saw it the other day in Spain, right? Okay, now envision that. They allowed 65,000 people in. Now you remember 25 million people. We were worse. That was like that every single day in our country, and that went on for months and months, and then we had a...
Oh, guys, God damn it. My ear. What the hell?
Border czar, as you remember, Kamala, she was a border czar. She never went to the
I
border.
had water in my ear from the shower.
And she never once called Border Patrol. Other than that, she did an excellent job. She was a great candidate. I think they should run her again. She was a great candidate. But since I took office, federal law enforcement has arrested incredibly 1.2 million criminals nationwide, and bad ones. We want to make sure we get the bad ones. And we've increased federal criminal prosecutions by over 50%. And under the Trump administration, the FBI has nearly doubled its arrests for violent crime. The violent criminals are being arrested, and that's why you see the good crime numbers. I mean, you're seeing crime numbers even in places that do not do, let's say they don't have good leadership, like Chicago has very bad leadership, but we have the numbers down because of what the federal government's doing. We get no credit for it because they say, well, we get no credit for it. They like to take all the credit, but everyone knows we've done an amazing job. The U.S. attorneys and the FBI, all the people, Kash and Todd has been unbelievable. We get all the credit. And as of this week, we've captured 9 out of 10 fugitives on the FBI's most wanted list, and that's a virtual record.
Well, Kash Patel said 8 out of 10, and now you used to just say 9 out of 10.
We have a list of 10 not nice people. These are not nice people, David Mack. You know, David, stand up, David. One of the wealthiest guys. He's got so much cash.
Who's the guy that's still
missing?
He's
got so much cash, he doesn't know what to do with it. And he wants to be safe. They save your ass, David, I'll tell you. You have no idea, David. Anyway, it's good to see you. I haven't seen you in a long time. He's a real estate man, a very good real estate man. And he used to be my enemy, but now he's very nice to me. Now he's very nice. He used to be my competitor, but he's a good man. He's a great, brilliant real estate person, too. It's good to have you, David. Shortly after taking office, I signed a historic executive order directing that anyone convicted of killing a police officer should face the death penalty.
Hang him! Not even that. I wrote in my law that we should hang him from the state capitol. I also think we should change the name of the United States of America to Gilead.
Deaths of law enforcement. Well, think of this. Deaths of law enforcement officers in the line of duty fell to an 80-year low. That means people aren't playing games anymore. It's an 80-year low. Still too many, but it's an 80-year low, despite all of our extraordinary progress to restore safety to every community in our land. The radical left, Marxists, the communists, they're communists.
Yeah,
these aren't socialists.
like
Socialists are no good, but communists. Remember I said at the State of the Union speech, the last one, we will not be a socialist country. I was right. They want to make us a communist country. They've skipped socialism. They skipped socialism. Can you believe it?
Okay. Trump and Kash Patel, FBI director, claimed today, August 14th, 2026, that they have captured 9 out of the 10 FBI's top 10 most wanted fugitives, a virtual record. This tracks with official statements and reporting. The 9th was Gregory Henderson Jr., captured shortly after being added. Context on the claim. Kash Patel and Trump administration have repeatedly heightened high numbers of top 10 captures since early 2025, Trump's return to office, far exceeding the prior administration's total over 4 years. Earlier claims were around 6 to 8. The figure reached 9 with Henderson's arrest this week. Some reporting has noted that the pace involves adding certain fugitives to the list and then capturing them relatively quickly in some cases, which boosts the count. The list is dynamic when someone is captured or removed. Well, the thing is, even if they added somebody and then they captured them, they're still a fugitive while they added them to the list. They still had to go out and capture them. When someone is captured or removed, a new person is typically added to keep it at 10. Rewards were raised up to $1 million for these fugitives. The 9th capture this week. Gregory Henderson Jr., August 11th. August 12th of 2026 in Lewin, Mississippi, without incident by the FBI's Jackson Field office, he made an initial court appearance the next day and is pending extraction to Indiana. Wanted for leading an Indianapolis area gang with alleged cartel ties, gang discipline links involving in distributing methamphetamine, cocaine, fentanyl across the Midwest, plus a dogfighting enterprise that involves severe abuse and death of dogs. He had been on the run and at large since 2023 takedown of his organization. This brought the total under the current administration to 9, who remains on the top 10 list. Here are the top 10s right now. The FBI's top 10 most wanted list aims to 10 active fugitives, long-standing ones who have not been captured under the current administration, include these prominent cases still listed in current summaries. So these are the 3 names that literally have stayed inside the top 10, because they're saying they arrested 9 out of the 10. That's not true, because there's 3 names that are in the top 10 that have stayed in the top 10 the whole time. But these 3 people have been there since he got into office, and even with all of this push, and this is the thing that I'm more interested in, these people they still haven't caught and have stayed in the top 10 the entire time that he has been president. Shaka Patel. Oh, it must be Kash Patel's brother. That's probably why. Added on April of 2017. Longest tenure on the current list. Wanted for the 2015 stabbing murder of his wife at a Dunkin' Donuts in Hanover, Maryland. Last confirmed sighting near Newark, New Jersey. Believed possible ties to India, Canada, or certain U.S. states. Reward raised to $1 million. Raju Intanova, which was added, called the Crypto Queen, and she was added in June of 2022. Only woman currently highlighted as remaining on the list in multiple reports. Wanted for leading the massive OneCoin cryptocurrency fraud, alleged billions defrauded, last confirmed sighting aboard a flight from Sofia to Athens in 2017. $5 million reward. So since she's been put on the list, they haven't even seen her. Bro, good for that lady. And they're like $5 million reward. She stole billions of dollars. Fucking good for that lady. That's fucking wild. Yulin Karnisk, a.k.a. Porky, was added in 2021. Alleged MS-13 leader of Honduras. Okay, so the leader of MS-13 in Honduras has stayed on there. The crypto queen who stole billions of dollars and hasn't been seen since 2017 stayed on there. And the longest running guy ever who stabbed his wife in a Dunkin' Donuts. I don't know why that matters, but he stabbed his wife in a Dunkin' Donuts and he's been on there since 2017.
That was right. I like being right.
Feels like there's more to that story with the stabbing in the
their
Dunkin' Donuts.
police and their destruction of
feel
the
like
rule
they're
of law, the
top
communists
10
wanted to turn
FBI?
America
You stabbed
into
your
a
wife?
third world country, into a
anybody could have done that.
hellhole of crime and filth. You ever notice? I said it a week ago for the first time. The first thing you see, I see, before you even see the crime becomes staggering, is the streets become filthy dirty. They're disgusting. They smell, they rot, but everything becomes dirty. And then you see the crime and you see all the other things. But I don't know, I'm not sure you've ever heard that said by anybody else. Most people wouldn't say it, but it's true. And squalor, and it just becomes so bad. And then the death comes, and it becomes really a true hellhole. And we're not going to let that happen to New York State. And that's why we have to get Bruce into office. We got to get Bruce in there. Nowhere is the communist attack on American society more clear than here in New York State. The radical left Governor Kathy Hochul has been very, very bad on crime, a nightmare for crime. She supports New York's disastrous no cash bail law. It all started, if you think about it, because I've been here for a long time. I love this place, but it gets harder to love. It really does. But if you think, it really started with a no cash bail. Remember that? That was a Cuomo beauty, right? That was a Cuomo beauty. In other words, no cash, don't worry about it. You kill somebody, oh, that's okay, go ahead. Then you go out, kill 2-3 people a day. It's the craziest thing I've ever heard. And you can't,
Dude, but every single cop that's sitting there is like, yeah, they're in holding for 72 hours, but you're right. They can totally, theoretically, be let out and murder 3 people in a day.
Men playing in women's sports. It's so crazy. You can't believe it. It's like transgender mutilization of your children. And all these people believe in all this stuff. But they came out with that one with the no cash bail. Just think of it, no cash. You kill somebody, you rob a store, you go right back out on the streets. It is the craziest thing I've ever seen. And I don't know, from a political standpoint, I guess it's good. But
hey, Daddy Trump, just watch that with the killing the babies, because I know you're probably referring to abortion, which would be allowed, but there's a lot of stuff with this Nancy Bancy lady and, murdering her 3 kids. So try to, because the association could be very close to death threat level. So.
Because, Bruce, how the hell can you lose to that? You're going to
I guess not a threat, so
for the rest
go
of your
and do what you do. Yeah. No, never mind.
You'll be ashamed. Bruce would say, how did I lose to that? No, I mean, think of it. Open borders. Let's have open borders. Have the entire world pour into our country. 25 million people in 4 years. She supported the release of convicted murderers who killed New York City police officers.
I get what you're saying there.
People that killed great police officers. One in particular in Long Island, where I went to the funeral, and he just met the people that gave this law enforcement chapels and rabbis, and met a whole group, and They were there and they gave the most beautiful sermon, but they kill. These are absolute killers, and then you're not going to change them. You got to get them the hell out, or you got to put them away. And if you don't do that, you're just wasting a lot of time. This whole concept of what they do. The only thing is, from a political standpoint, it's so easy to run against because it's just common sense. You know, I guess I'm a conservative guy, but I'm a common sense guy more than a conservative guy. It's all about, politics is all about common sense. Bruce is a common sense guy. Bruce is a common sense guy. All of our Congress people that are here, you know, we have all our Congress people here. That's a big deal. I think if you said, would you rather have Bruce Blakeman win or all of your Congress people? I don't know, Bruce. I think I'm going to have to give you up. I might have to take the Congress people. It's so important.
Double tap, hit that like button, y'all. We're about 50 away, 3 away from 50. Please, please hit that like button. Double tap the screen, y'all.
Okay, they're very happy.
Help support the channel.
She signed a law weakening the parole enforcement for convicted felons, really weakening it. She spent millions and millions of dollars providing taxpayer-funded lawyers to illegal aliens. If you weren't an illegal alien, you didn't get a lawyer. But if you were an illegal alien, you got lawyers, and they were very good. They were radical left lunatics, but they were very good, very effective. She's in favor of the sanctuary city. She thinks the sanctuary cities are wonderful, which are killing our country. And less than 3 months ago, Kathy Hochul signed a deadly and seditious new law making New York a so-called sanctuary state. So she took it from the city to the state. Meaning Kathy Hochul wants to release migrant criminals from jail and set them loose on innocent New Yorkers all over. Every street has people that are not supposed to be here. And the reason they left their country is a lot of bad reasons. You know, I know a lot of the leaders of these countries. They're very smart. More than smart, they're street smart, very street smart. And they don't want these people. So what they did is they sent them into the United States of America through the open border. And people like Kathy Hochul, they want to keep them in New York. We don't want to keep them in New York. We don't want them. We don't want to take a chance. Yeah, maybe they'll get better. You know what the chances of? About 2%. Maybe they'll get better. But Hochul and
Ooh. You see how quiet he got on that? I think that some of those Haitians in the garbage trucks are these people's friends. That one, deporting the Haitians from New York City isn't really going over well, even in Staten Island, it don't look like.
The radical left stand with the gang members, child predators, violent felons.
New York's
we stand with
too
hardworking New
economically
Yorkers.
liberal.
We stand with the great people of law enforcement.
Just walk back and they go, oh, got law enforcement claps again.
And Hochul and Mayor Mandami were against securing our border. They were against our massive tax cuts. They were against no tax on tips, no tax on overtime, and no tax on Social Security for our seniors. They were against all of that. They fought it like hell. Is that right, Congressman? Am I right? Nick, right? They fought like crazy. I mean, we didn't get one vote. We have no tax on tips, no tax on overtime, and you cops get a lot of overtime, obviously.
You cops get a lot of overtime.
But you deserve it. And no tax on Social Security. Think of it for the seniors, and a lot of seniors. Is anybody happy about that? Seniors, are you happy about it?
Because they fight against it all the time.
If you had your choice of only having one, clap for the one you like best. No tax on tips. No tax on Social Security for our seniors.
Oh, it's okay. So there's a bunch of fucking unks in the audience.
No tax on overtime.
And the people behind him. the people working. You know what? Point proven. Point fucking proven, though. Point proven. Oh, you're booing this one? Oh, you're fucking cheering this one? Oh, now you're gonna wake up over here on this one? Point proven. Point proven on the fucking tax credits, guy.
That's the one they'd like the best.
Point proven on the tax cuts.
She wants to raise your taxes. Think of it. She and all these people are against these things. And if they get in, they're going to take them all away. They're all going away. Yeah, that'll be next. Yeah. That could happen, actually. If we keep making money like we're making, we're the hottest nation anywhere in the world right now. Hottest. We're building more plants and factories than any country anywhere in the world in history. Think of it. We're building, and the jobs are going to be fantastic. You know, in a couple of years, 2.5 years, somebody's going to be elected.
Somebody.
And will you please remember one thing? Trump is the one that did it. These factories are all going to be opening up. They're going to be all opening up. They're going to be opening up, and they're going to say how brilliant they were, right, Todd? They're going to be saying, brilliant. Think of it. We have $19.2 trillion being invested in our country. You know why? Tariffs. We're making a fortune with tariffs. They like to say, oh, tariffs. They have no idea what they're... Basically, if you build your plant here, if you make your product here, you don't pay tariffs. If you make your product in another country, I say, I want you to pay 50%. We don't want your product if you make it. So they're all moving in, and they're spending $19.2 trillion so far. It's actually more than that, because that's as of the first 13, 14 months, and it's been a little bit longer than that. But think of the next governor, and think of the next for your state, but more importantly, think of the next president. Your next governor is going to say, what a great job. You know how many factories and places are being built in all of the states? And your next president is going to say, what a great job I did. He'll be sitting around watching television, a real step. Unless you vote Republican, of course. But no, they'll be sitting, say, darling, look at the great job I did. I don't know what the hell's happening, but this country is good. I'm telling you, we have the hottest country anywhere in the world. $19.2 trillion is more than invested ever in history in any country. And another little stat, I love these stats. I love these. I hate reading these boring speeches because, to be honest with you, isn't it nice to have a president that doesn't have to read a teleprompter?
Fucking yes, it is. Yes, it is. That's the thing. Half the politicians, yes, that you point proven. Point proven there, my guy. The next guy better not be reading the fucking script. I swear to God.
You get a little bored with teleprompters. But here's a stat that they never write down, but I think it's one of the most. At this moment, right now, there are more people working in the United States of America than ever before. We've never had anywhere, not even close. Think of that stuff, right? Think of that stuff. And one other thing I have to say, you know, they keep talking about affordability. Affordability, you know, I walk in, I'm in office one day, and those fakers, look at all that press back there. Wow, fake news. But they keep talking about affordability. When I got in, you remember the first news conference, it was one day, they started screaming, what about eggs? What about eggs? Eggs. I said, tell me about it.
Bro, they're fucking $7 now. Are you forgetting you're in the middle of a fucking war? Shut the fuck up about the prices. You are not winning this fucking argument.
Eggs, what's the problem?
Shut up about the prices,
5
bro.
times higher than they were just a year ago. I said, I've just been here one day. And then they started screaming affordability. And, you know, I made the statement, but they always misread it and everything else. But I said, the Democrats saying that is a hoax because they're the ones that cause the affordability. We're bringing the prices way down. Look at what's happening, coming way down. And after we finish defeating Iran, which is being very badly defeated, pretty soon I'll be declaring the Hormuz Strait a territory of the United States.
Hormuz Strait. Bro, you fucked that one up and you know it.
Essentially, that's
different way.
We have the blockade. No ships get through unless we want them to. But, and how about Venezuela? Venezuela was a one-day war. And now we work great with them. We've taken in millions and millions of barrels of oil. But we're doing really good. We're doing good in every way. You know, I built the military, and now I used it a little bit more than I wanted to, frankly, but that's okay, because we cannot let Iran have a nuclear weapon. Do we agree? Can't let it. So most things are down. And I had, before I started that, I had to make a journey. I said to my guys, I said to Howard, Scott, Marco, they're all fantastic. What a great group we have. But I said, fellas, we had just had the best month anyone's ever had as president. The numbers had just come out. I just got back. I was in Iowa helping some people. And I was in office. And we're looking at the pump, and it's $1.95 a gallon.
It's not anymore.
$1.85. I said $1.85 a gallon. It's not anymore. And I meet them the following day. I said, I have bad news for you guys. We have to make a little journey to the Middle East because we...
Oh my God, you're repeating a story from a thing that happened for 30 days, like a while ago. And now here we are, 6 months into this war, and you're acting like we're not in the war now?
We have to put out a potential disaster, a potential very big fire like you've never seen. We can't let Iran keep going. They would have had a nuclear... If we didn't hit the B-2 bombers, if we didn't hit them, you would have had a nuclear weapon, and it would have been a very sad day for this country and for the entire world. So I said, we're going to have to put out the fire in the Middle East, and we've done that. They're never going to have a nuclear weapon. We have loaded up. So I just say this. So for you to pay a tiny little bit more for your gasoline, just remember, you're doing it so that a very evil country cannot
Tiny
have a
little
country.
bit more.
Really, it's the number one
375,
state sponsor of terror in the world. We don't want to have them have
It's a little bit
nuclear
more than
weapons.
$1.
So remember that when you have to pay a little bit more, you're at $4.
Look, I don't even know how this feels, guys, because I literally have free electricity hooked up to my apartment complex, and I have a Tesla. So I get 300 miles to the charge. I have to plug in for 18 hours, and it's all free. I don't even pay $3 or whatever. I pay no offset or anything. It's just the city's electricity. So I don't know what the fuck this is, but I know that it would piss me off if somebody's trying to tell me it was cheap when it's definitely not.
It's okay. I mean, I'm not...
Guys, make sure you double tap, hit that like button, hit subscribe, everybody. You are watching No News is News live 7 days a week, at least 3 hours every single day, sometimes up to 10 hours a day. Hit that notification bell so that you can stay with us when we go live every single day. Help support the channel. Become a member like Two Gun Cohen over here and get your little flag next to your name. You start off a North Korean, then you become a Venezuelan, then a Cuban, eventually an American citizen, and then a Israeli. We make fun of both the right and the left. Keep the show completely independent. Throw out the $5 super chat. Add somebody's name to the poll of the day. This hour right now, Two Gun Cohen just threw out a $5 super chat to add Hunter Biden's name to the poll of the day. And right now he is tied with AOC, but Gavin Newsom and Marco Rubio right at each other still. And remember, you can throw a $10 super chat out and you can remove somebody's name from the poll of the day. Help support the channel. Keep us independent, everybody. Let's get back into the news. Donald Trump at the police academy in Staten Island talking today.
I'll never apologize.
About
I did the right
Iran.
thing. But you could,
Not apologize
if you didn't have...
You don't apologize.
You'd be at... I had it down to below $2 in many states, but in California you can't include because they keep taxing. You lower the oil price and they end up taxing you more than what you lower it. But you just have to remember that what we're doing is a great service for the world, not only for ourselves, for the world, and we're really doing a great job. Our military is unbelievable. The blockade is unstoppable. It's a wall of steel. The blockade is a wall of steel. But the policies of Hochul and the Democrat colleagues like crooked, oh, she's the worst. Is she the worst? Crooked Attorney General Letitia James. She is the most dishonest, a real slob. You know, they had her. She got off on a technicality. They had her. But she got off on a technicality. But let's see what happens. You remember when she was campaigning and We will stop Donald Trump. She's not supposed to say that. She's the Attorney General. We will stop. She didn't know anything about me. But she campaigned on we will stop Donald Trump. Well, I think I'm here. Am I here as president? Yeah.
That's a good one. That was a good one.
By the way, Letitia James is a disgrace to law, order, law enforcement. She's a disgrace. She's a dishonest person, very dishonest, very crooked person. Remember, I used to say that about James Comey. I was right. These are dishonest. These are dirty cops. You know the expression? You got dirty cops.
Fuck, bro. You're talking at a police. God damn.
Cops too. Letitia James is
rough
essentially
one.
a dirty cop. And you have a person running.
Attorney General of your state's
who
a
I just
dirty
met
cop.
today for the first time, and I've endorsed her running for Attorney General. Where the hell are you, ma'am? Where are you? And I'm hearing you have a hell of a shot. Her resume is unbelievable. But the reason that all of the products in New York, pharmacies and convenience stores are all locked behind glass, how do you do that? You know, I used to you go into a drugstore, you go into a store, you buy something, you buy a toothbrush, you buy some toothpaste. Now you have to open up glass. It's no way to run a business. I don't know how the hell they can make money. They can charge you a lot. I don't care how much they charge. They can't be making any money. Actually, I have a store on Wall Street. And they said, sir, we're not going to make it. We're not going to make it. I go into the store. This is before I left. I go into the store. It's a drugstore, well-known, big brand, good store, beautiful store, right across from the New York Stock Exchange in the building. And beautiful, everything's beautiful. There's only one problem. I walk into the store. I said, what's going on here? Every shelf has glass on it, and it's got a lock and a key. I said, why do you do that? How do you live like that? You want a toothbrush, or you want a little toothpaste, or you want to get a little Dove soap. You know, you have nice skin. One Dove. You can pour it gently on your face. Keep your skin very nice. You want a little of that good hair that can puff up your hair a little bit more, so it makes you look like you have 4% more hair than you had. They charge you a fortune. And you have to call the clerk. Sir, would you please help me? Yes, sir, I will. They open up a door at the last store, and they give you a bottle of shampoo. Give me a break. And that's because nothing happens to these criminals. Nothing happens to them. It's not like that in other places. It's not like that in other blue states. But it's not like that in Republican states, I can tell you that. But 3 weeks ago in Kathy Hochul's New York, a demented criminal with 14 prior arrests threw an elderly woman, you know, you saw it, onto the subway tracks, almost died. It was a miracle, barely lived. I mean, what's your definition of live? 2 weeks ago, a wonderful 12-year-old boy named Jacob Fritiz, you read about this one, was tragically shot and killed by a stray bullet fired by a repeat offender in a gun battle. He was having a gun battle with his friend, shooting bullets all over the place. Jacob was the son of a loving mom and a retired New York City police detective, and they are incredible people. And I think I heard that they may be with us today. Are you with us? May I introduce you? Please.
Wow. Yeah. Holy shit, that's a good thing. You also don't see that very often. You walk down to the person. They don't give a shit. Wow. You guys, that is probably the closest a president has gotten. Wow, that was a really fucking... Man, this guy just does not give a shit. You're not supposed to do that. It's like, that's almost as crazy as getting in a driver's seat and pushing the gas pedal. Like, it's... Can actually get sued by the Secret Service for doing that. He's making them liable for something that he can't. Wow, that's crazy.
Incredible, horrible story. What a
We've had presidents that got shot that same exact way, just walking into a crowd like that.
We're going after them. I just said we're going after. These are bad, sick. They're sick people. They're sick people. Also with us is former New York PD officer Ethan Corey. Where is Ethan? Ethan Corey, who 3 years ago arrested an illegal alien criminal in New York City. Oh, that's the guy I remember. I remember him. He arrested someone for endangering a child, only to watch that migrant criminal be released under the sanctuary laws that Kathy Hochul so fervently supports. And just imagine the anguish that Ethan felt when he learned that that same monster was arrested for murder and murdering a beautiful young nursing student who became a very famous person after her death, unfortunately, Laken Riley in Georgia. Now, if they had the proper laws, you did your job, you did it, but they just released this animal into the world. I just want to thank Ethan Curry. Please accept our congratulations and our love. Thank you. Thank you, Ethan. And he was devastated. He was devastated. We've been together twice, but he was devastated because he had the guy. It was all done, and they released him. And he said, "Don't release him, don't release him." Begged him, but they released him, and he went on. The following couple of days later, he killed Laken Riley. Thanks to our Republican majorities in Congress last year, it was my honor to sign the Laken Riley Act, into law, helping us ensure migrant criminals are swiftly deported. It's been held up too. It's been people are following it very closely, but and we named it after Laken for a very good reason. The family was devastated. And I want to thank Bruce Blakeman for working closely with federal law enforcement to remove more than 2,000 migrant criminals from Nassau County. Thank you. He removed 2,000 absolute total criminals. That's why your records are so good. That's why you're #1 in the whole country. I got to check that, Bruce. I don't know about that. But that's why you're #1 in the country. It's time for the people of New York to remind your politicians that their job is not to protect the criminals. Their job is to protect the good, hardworking people of New York. And that's why right here in Nassau County, Bruce Blakeman hired over 700 new police and correctional officers to keep New Yorkers safe. I don't know. Should we do this? Come on up, Bruce. Come on. Should we do it? Come up, Bruce.
Mr. President. See, Sid Rosenberg's here. What do? You're supposed to be on radio. Listen, we are so honored to have President Trump join with us here today in these magnificent facilities that we have here in Nassau County to honor the men and women of our law enforcement professionals and firefighters. And especially we want to thank President Trump. And I mean this from the bottom of my heart because I meet mom and dads everywhere I go throughout the state. Thank you, Mr. President, for sealing our borders. There are less and less moms and dads that are burying their children from fentanyl and the illegal drugs that came through our porous borders during Biden-Harris. Thank you, President Trump, and God bless you for everything you do. We appreciate you. Keep going.
That's what you need. That's what you need. It'll be great. No doubt about it. A lot of times I'm with people and I'm sort of not very sure. I'm sure of this one. He's going to be great. The official communist platform calls for abolishing the police, abolishing prisons, abolishing qualified immunity, abolishing all immigration enforcement, and giving full amnesty to 50 million illegal aliens. How about that? One of Mayor Mondami's closest allies in New York, Daria Liza Avila. I've never heard of her. Who the hell is she? Called police pigs. They're pigs. She said they're pigs. And she said that end policing, full stop. That's her campaign. That's what she says, end policing, full stop. The radical extremist has not been disavowed by Chuck Schumer, who's a Palestinian. He's a full-fledged Palestinian.
He's a full-fledged Palestinian. That's a better way to do it.
I'm going to send it to him for his.
Oh my God! There you go.
I know him very well.
All right, he's getting it back. He's getting back.
She's totally crazy.
He's coming back, guys.
If you got to know her, you'd say she's crazy.
He just needed a few days off. That's all.
Who's done such a poor job in New York. In fact, she has the Congressional Democrats full support. Think of it. Every Democrat, not the people. The people are going to vote for Bruce Blakeman. But the politicians, they're all for her. Begrudgingly, I have to tell you. The mayor came in very late for her, if you remember. Communism is the greatest threat to our country in history, including World War I, World War II, Pearl Harbor, or even 9/11. Today, we declare again that America is going to be greater than ever before. It's going to be great. You know, I had a little expression that I came up with called Make America Great Again, MAGA. Who thought that was going to happen when we first said it 10 years ago? All right? First said it. I came up, I said, that's a good sound. Who would have thought? But we're joined today by some of the warriors in Congress who are standing up for our values, including Representatives Nick LaLota, Andrew Garbarino, Nicole Malliotakis, and your former congressman, a friend of mine, Anthony D'Esposito.
Anthony D'Esposito.
And thanks as well to Sheriff Todd Hood, fantastic guy. Kaylee Buller, who's running. Anthony Constantino, who's running for Congress. Janine Driscoll and Mike LaPetri. Come on up, fellas. Come on up. We got to get them in office. Come on up. Get up here. Come on up here. What the hell? It's late in the week. We have a couple of words.
Wow, we are so excited. Thank you, President Trump, for lighting this room on fire. We love the work you've done to make Nassau County the best county in New York. We appreciate all the devotion. And thank you for coming here today to support us, to keep the Republican agenda going in Washington.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. President. America is the hottest nation because of you, sir. America's swagger is back. Our enemies fear us. Our allies respect us. And, Mr. President, you are here because you know we choose common sense over chaos, and we 100% back the blue. God bless you, Mr. President. Thank you so much.
We need somebody from Staten Island to be president. That's what I'm getting off of this.
Are you fired up? Hey, listen here, Mr. President, thank you for being with us here on Long Island. Now listen, Suffolk County, we're pretty safe too. Any Suffolk County folks in the house? God bless Suffolk County too. Now listen, we Long Islanders, we want two things. We don't want to be able to move to Florida or North Carolina. We want to stay here. And we need two things to stay here. And you're helping us a lot, Mr. President. We want to make it more affordable. And you cutting our taxes helps us stay here on Long Island, but also making us safer. We got our cops here too. We love that you're supporting the blue. We love that you're here in Long Island. God bless you, Mr. President.
Hello, Long Island. How are we doing? All right. Are we ready to elect Bruce Blakeman the next governor so the entire state can be safe? Well, I'm proud to represent Staten Island and Brooklyn. Sadly, it's part of Mondani's New York City, but we are going to change the tide in New York City and across America, and we're doing it already because of our Republican majority and this great president, Donald J. Trump. My mother fled communist Cuba, and we will never allow that to happen here in the United States, the greatest and freest country in the world. Thank you, and God bless.
I just want to say thank you very quickly to President Trump for inspiring me to be here. I wasn't a politician until very recently. I saw what he did for our country, stepping aside from his incredible business, and I decided I wanted to do the same thing because of him. And I tell you this, I think I'm still an objective person. Bruce Blakeman called me an anti-politician, so I have a clear message to everybody in New York State. Democrat, Republican, Independent, you have no choice anymore but to vote Republican, vote Bruce Blakeman, vote every Republican you can find, because the Democrats are destroying our state.
Thank you again, everybody. One thing we didn't mention today, but we have to, this would not have happened without the president. Let's thank him for getting our SALT deduction back. Thank you very much, Mr. President. Thank you. Thank you, everybody.
We can't forget this one here.
Thank you, Mr. President. You let me serve you in term 1. I helped on your transition team, and you let me serve you in term 2, and we are going to keep the House and keep enacting your agenda. Woo!
Thank you very much.
Thanks for $5 gas.
What you need
Facts,
is fighters. Also with us is New York Republican
That's
Party
the excursion. Hey, William. That's an excursion. That's an excursion, okay?
Cox, where's Ed? Thank you, Ed. Good job.
It's going to be over soon. Don't worry about it.
A friend of mine for a long time, Nassau County Chair, Joe Cairo. A longtime friend of mine, Senator Al D'Amato, I see is in the audience. Thank you, Al. And another friend of mine, another great politician, Peter King. Thank you, Peter. Great. We also have a fearless advocate for victims of crime who spoke at the 2024 Republican National Convention about the murder of her son, Husan. And I tell you, this was a big moment. Madeline Brame, where are you, Madeline? Where are you, Madeline? What a job that was. She got the biggest ovation of anybody in the place, including me. Including me. Thank you, Madeline. Thank you very much. She got a hand for 5 minutes. They were applauding you on the job because they got to know you on television, talking about your great son, and I appreciate it. Along with another passionate advocate for crime victims and a survivor of very violent crime, Jasmine Robles. Thank you. Thank you, Jasmine. And finally, and I have to tell you, he's become a friend of mine because I think he's just great. I used to watch him on television in a slightly different mode. He was a comedian, I guess, an actor. He's sort of everything, and now he does some of the best commentary of anybody anywhere in the world, talking about the Civil War, talking about everything having to do with patriotism. Kelsey Grammer. Thank you, Kelsey. I don't know what it is, you know. Originally, he made me laugh. Now, that doesn't easily go into civil wars and all the other wars he talks about, but you are really, maybe it's the voice, maybe it's the look, probably the voice. Must be the voice. But he's a great guy. There's nobody like him. Under the Trump administration, America is winning again, and America is respected again. All over the world, we're respected like never before, and that's because I put America first. We're first. And we're first in terms of many countries. When they need help, they call America. I don't always give it because sometimes they haven't been very good to us. You know, NATO wasn't there for us, by the way. You know, NATO was not there for us. We pay all that money for so many decades. Money, money, money. We say, yeah, give us a hand. Well, sure, would rather not. But we remember. We inherited the worst border in the history of the United States, so we quickly turned it into the most secure border in the history of our country. We took the worst border, and within a 60-day period, we turned it into the best. And I did it twice. If you remember, I did it in 2016, and then they let it go. But the 2016 border was nothing compared to the border we just had. That border was horrible, what they let into this country. The 2016 was like a secure border by comparison, what we just had to go through. And we did it fast. Remember, they said, you couldn't do it. You couldn't secure the border. I did it in really 30 days. 60 days became perfect, but really 30 days. And you know the only difference? Because they said you have to go back to Congress. Yeah, I didn't go back to Congress. The only difference is you had a different president. That's the only difference. In the past 15 months, a historic record of 0 illegal aliens have been admitted into the United States. And we take people in, but they have to come in legally. They have to come in legally. And it was just announced that the total number of attempted illegal border crossings is down by 94%. And by the way, water crossing, you know, for the drugs, 97% down. %.
Because there's no more water. Because of the data centers.
For years we've been interdicting, they like to say, but for years we've been grabbing those boats, bringing them into Miami and different places. They'd be let go in a matter of minutes. Always had good lawyers. And they'd be back sailing sometimes that night. They don't sail anymore. They don't sail. And the 97%, in fact, we're going to give probably medals to some of the 3% because I think they happen to be the bravest people. Anybody getting into one of those boats to bring drugs into our country, I consider them to be among the bravest people anywhere in the world, either that or the dumbest people in the world. With the help of our Republican majorities in Congress, I proudly signed the largest tax cuts in American history just now. Largest in American history.
Double tap, hit that like button, y'all.
Largest tax increase in American history. You know, all my life I've been watching politics, and I wasn't a politician until relatively recently, but I've been watching. And I've always watched politicians, Democrat, Republican, Independent, they get up and we will cut your taxes, we will cut your, even if they didn't mean it, they always said it. These people actually say, we're going to raise your taxes. We're going to we're going to do things that is shocking. That's why people are leaving New York, because of
it's a good pitch. Stay on that, buddy. Stay off the war.
It can't work. It just can't work. And we have to be careful, because as a federal government, we don't want to throw good money after bad. They're destroying the city. They're destroying the state. We want to be there for the state, but we don't like what's happening is a guaranteed failure. It's a guaranteed failure. It's not like, oh, maybe it'll work. It's a guaranteed failure. We have to be very careful. Under our leadership, the stock market has set almost 80 all-time highs since the election. Set another one. More Americans are working today. As I said, to me, it's one of the cool, because, you know, they say, well, employment. They say, how's Trump doing in the economy? He's at 42 on the 42. We built the greatest machine in history. It's the greatest in history. More money invested, as I said, $19.2 trillion with a T, $19.2 trillion. And they say, how's he doing on the economy? Oh, he's okay. Not okay. When I say we have the most people working, and by the way, the fake news, you see those people? If I'm wrong by...
Maybe he's just delusional. Maybe he's just delusional. He thinks that everybody has like a job and enough money. And...
It's headlines all over the place.
Because it's not like a great time.
Democrats make mistakes.
It's not a great time at the grocery store, and it's not a great time to not have a job.
Just a little bit,
That's
like
me.
a half a point, quarter of a point. It's headlines all over the world.
Weird.
Which keeps me extremely honest, I must be honest with you. Under my most favored nation policy,
and they're kind of quiet on that too.
We're delivering the largest prescription drug price cuts in the history of our country by far. with price differences of 400, 500, and even 600%. And the headline in most of the papers this morning was the largest drug price decrease in 65 years. And that alone should win us the midterms, really. That alone, because that reduces health care, reduces everything. For decades, Americans paid the highest prices for prescription drugs. We paid more for prescription drugs than anywhere in the world, and now we pay the lowest price anywhere in the world for prescription drugs.
He's saying you can get them lower, which is Trump RX. So yeah, I guess you can. There's
all I know is you had to get other countries to agree, and I got every one of them to agree. You know why? If they weren't going to do it, I said, I'm going to raise tariffs on you. I'm going to put 100% tariff. It's going to be 10 times more. Sure, we'd love to do it. We'd be honored to double our prices. They had to double their prices in order for us to get the reduction. But think of that, 400, 500, 600%. We should win the midterms on that alone. We're making the largest ever investment in the United States Armed Forces. Our armed forces are the best in the world. I built it during my first term, including Space Force, which has turned out to be very important. And now we're using it. We won in Venezuela, which is now working with what nobody's ever seen. We're taking millions and millions of barrels of oil out every single week. And we're likewise winning big with the Islamic Republic of Iran. Nobody has any idea how successful we are. They don't want to write it, but they know. You know who knows how well we're doing? Iran. Think of it. They have no Navy. It's totally gone. 159 ships. Had a total of
them drones, though, bro.
ships.
We know. We read the news, bro.
Ships are right now at the bottom of the sea. They had 212.
Them drones, bro.
Very nice airplanes. Some bought from the United States brilliantly through Obama. Barack Hussein Obama. Have you heard of him? Barack Hussein Obama.
Okay, guys, we're going to keep the audio rolling on this, but we're going into the next hour. Make sure you double tap, hit that like button, hit subscribe. Hunter Biden was added to the poll by Chew Gun Cohen with the $5 super chat. You too can add somebody to the poll of the day with a $5 super chat. But it looks like he lost as well as AOC. So our next round are runoff rounds now. Marco Rubio versus Gavin Newsom. Remember, $5 super chat, add somebody to the poll of the day. $10 super chat, take someone off the poll of the day. Our second hour starts now.
And every one of their airplanes is shot down. It's gone. They have no leadership. Their leadership is gone. Their first tour is gone. Their second tour is gone. Their third tour is half gone. That's one of my problems. There's nobody to negotiate with. It is a problem. I said, are you sure this guy's okay? It's the only country in the world where nobody wants to be president. But their radar's gone. All of their high intelligence equipment is gone. Their manufacturing of missiles is 82%. They still have missiles, but not a lot. They still have drones, but just a fraction of what they had. But their manufacturing is largely gone. And I read an article in one of the fake newspapers the other day.
Hour two
Iran is in very good position. They have 350% inflation. Their currency is valueless. I read today where their currency is of no value. And the New York Times said, Iran is doing quite well in the war. These guys, fake news. It's just fake news. There's nothing you can do about it. They're sick.
The drones, though, bro. You ain't talking about the problems that you having. Don't act like you're not feeding the propaganda.
In just 18 months, we've turned this country completely around. Our border is secure. Our jobs are up. Inflation is way down. Investment is pouring in. Factories are opening. Our military is more powerful than it has ever been. And America is back, and our greatest victories are still to come. Our greatest victories are yet to come.
We're yet to come.
Amazing what we've done. What we've done, and I would not have said we would have done this in a year and a half, but in a year and a half.
Not yet, not yet.
And I tell the story all the time. The King of Saudi Arabia, 2 years ago, he was there, and he said, you know, I was in office for a little while, like 6 months, so it was a year ago, and he was with me, good guy, smart guy, under siege, by the way. All those countries are because Iran was known as the bully of the Middle East. And he said, you know, sir, that a year ago we said your country was dead, and now you have the hottest country anywhere in the world. He said that. That's where I got the expression. Many other leaders say the same thing. Every other leader says it, but a lot of them don't like saying it publicly. So in conclusion, with the help of our Republican majorities in Congress, we will crush violent crime to the lowest levels ever. Already there. We're already there. Lowest levels, best crime levels in 125 years on murder and most of the other crimes. We will impose harsh new penalties for dangerous repeat offenders. We will crack down on Marxist prosecutors. We will never abolish the police. Instead, we will abolish the sanctuary cities. We will abolish them. We will destroy them. We will take them out. We're going to take them out of service. And we will immediately end no cash bail. We will pass the great health care plan to stop all payments to big insurance companies. We'll give, you have to understand, the insurance companies are totally controlled, 100%. They're totally controlled by the Democrats.
Yeah.
And give the money
the insurance companies are totally controlled by the Democrats. Okay.
to the people. They give
you don't got your side of it?
Billions of dollars to insurance companies. We're giving them directly to the
and you're
people.
giving
You go
nothing.
out, you buy your own
you have
health
no money in
and you have
insurance
money left
companies.
over.
Want me
You
to
end up
fact check that?
Better health insurance. So you're going to get better health insurance at a lower cost. And finally, we will pass the Save America Act to defend our sacred American elections. Because all voters must have photo ID, and all voters must provide proof of citizenship. Have to do it. We have to do it. And mail-in ballots, we're going to make them so secure you have no idea. If you want to stay home, you can do it, but we got to make them secure because they are crooked as hell. So thank you. Thank you very much. And we'll also enshrine permanent law. There will be no men in women's sports, and there will be no transgender surgery.
There you go. That's going to light up that fucking stand now. You should have held on that one. Yes, Trump has documented personal financial ties to pharmaceutical companies, primarily through stock positions, while his administration advances policies to benefit specific drug makers. In early 2026, ethics disclosed that shows that the investment accounts brought by Eli Lilly stock in multiple transactions from January to March, totaling as much as $680,000 to $730,000 directly. He also bought West Pharmaceutical Services stock valued at between $250,000 and $500,000. But, you know, the big pharma, stop big pharma, literally invest $2 million into big pharma.
And we've essentially killed DEI. Isn't that nice? No more DEI.
Looks like
I don't see the
Luigi's over there, right? Stop big pharma.
Were you big on DEI, anybody? That's not a DEI group, I can tell. It never was, by the way. So, ladies and gentlemen of Nassau County, the golden age of America is upon us. It's the golden age. We've never had anything like it. And together with your help and patriots all across this magnificent land, we will make America powerful again. We've already done that. We will make America wealthy again. We've already done that. We will make America healthy again. We're trying to do that. We will make America strong again. We've done that. We will make America proud again. We've done that.
Checklist.
We will make America safe again. We've largely done that. And above all, we will make America great again. Thank you very much.
Oh, so the only thing they got to do is make it great. Once they make it great, then it'll be all good.
Bless you. God bless you. Thank you, everybody.
All right, guys. Daddy Trump today in Staten Island talking at the police academy. Now we're going to go to the defense and prosecution attorneys speaking at the press conference for Luigi Mangione.
Sidewalk, stalked and murdered Luigi Mangione, stalked and murdered Brian Thompson in cold blood on a public sidewalk in Midtown Manhattan. Just a few moments ago, Mangione pled guilty to his heinous act. This was not a spontaneous act of violence. It was deliberate, calculated, and premeditated. In the days leading up to the murder, the defendant very carefully prepared for the attack. He tracked Mr. Thompson's whereabouts, conducted surveillance along the route he knew Mr. Thompson would take, and positioned himself to carry out the plan. Then, on a sidewalk on West 54th Street, the defendant murdered Mr. Thompson, shooting him from behind with a 9mm handgun equipped with a silencer. He shot Thompson twice at close range. The second shot came as Mr. Thompson turned and faced the defendant. The defendant did this as everyday New Yorkers walked nearby, and while the rest of the city woke up to start their day. Mangione then ran away, leaving Mr. Thompson to die. The defendant committed this murder in an attempt to draw public attention to his dislike of certain businesses. But we live in a civilized society governed by the rule of law. We debate,
businesses.
We disagree, we protest. We do not commit murder.
Remember that, guys. We, as individuals, do not commit murder. When a pharmaceutical company or an insurance company commits murder, they're not an individual. That's why this is all okay. We can hang up these people to dry and we can condemn them across all of media and say, oh, isn't it so horrible that he did this? Because remember, guys, it's a heinous murder by an individual. But when the corporation murders thousands of people, that's not really heinous. That's not really immoral. That's just business, you know?
No
Sorry.
Belief
Was just our business model. Sorry.
Justify murder.
Sorry.
There can be no celebrity in assassination. Any person who celebrates, encourages, or excuses actions like these is fundamentally wrong. Mangione attempted to send a public message through violence, but the message that emerges today is very different. Violence is not a legitimate instrument to promote any political or social message. And those who resort to violence in an effort to advance their beliefs will be prosecuted, convicted, and put in jail. Today, the Southern District of New York, together with our law enforcement partners, writes the final chapter of Mangione's federal prosecution. Now, he stands convicted in federal court and faces life in prison. One other point that's important to note. While the defendant pled guilty, our office does not have a plea agreement with him. Instead, he pled open, which means he pled guilty to all pending counts in the indictment. There are no accommodations or concessions, and we are free to seek the maximum penalty under the law. I'd like to thank the dedicated prosecutors of our office's Violent Organizations and Crime Unit, who are beside me, for their remarkable efforts to bring this case. I would also like to thank the NYPD and the FBI, whose tireless and incredibly sophisticated investigative efforts made this conviction possible. Finally, I want to express on behalf of all of us here our deepest sympathy and compassion for the many family members and friends of Brian Thompson. Mr. Thompson's family and many of his friends
Me too
were
on
in
that
court
one.
for the guilty plea today. I know they will have an opportunity to be heard at sentencing. We all stand in awe of their love for their family and for their friend, and their unwavering commitment to seeing justice done in this case. We hope they can take some solace in the fact that from the beginning, we have brought the full force of the federal government to bear in this case. In this prosecution, we have consistently pursued the maximum penalties under the law as necessary and just punishment for these crimes. The result achieved today now allows our office to seek the maximum penalty allowed, life imprisonment, which, as I've conveyed to Mr. Thompson's family, is what we intend to seek. I'll now turn it over to Commissioner Tisch.
Well, wait, then what's up with the whole double jeopardy thing? Because if they're trying to claim the double jeopardy thing, why even do that if the maximum penalty is life in prison and the maximum penalty for the federal case for stalking is also life in prison? They're not going to let him out onto the street either way then. So what the fuck is the deal? This is so weird.
Good afternoon.
Why care about the double jeopardy?
Thank you, U.S. Attorney McDonald. And thank you to the prosecutors and the federal law enforcement partners who have worked alongside the New York City Police Department throughout this case. Today, Luigi Mangione pleaded guilty in connection with the murder of Brian Thompson on a Midtown Manhattan sidewalk in December of 2024. This is an important moment of accountability, and my thoughts remain first and foremost with Mr. Thompson's family and everyone who knew and loved him. But I also want to take a few minutes today to recognize the extraordinary police work that brought us here. From the moment that Mr. Thompson was assassinated on the morning of December 4th, the NYPD mobilized an enormous investigative effort. Our detectives combed through thousands of hours of surveillance video, followed up on hundreds of tips, and worked through an extraordinary volume of forensic and digital evidence. They used some of the most sophisticated technology available to law enforcement, and they paired it with the kind of painstaking, old-fashioned detective work that has defined the New York City Police Department for generations, interviewing witnesses, canvassing neighborhoods, retracing the suspects' movements, and pursuing every viable lead. Most importantly, they developed a clear image of the man we were looking for and got that image out to the public and to law enforcement agencies across this country 5 days after the murder. That work paid off in Altoona, Pennsylvania.
I mean, I guess I just don't understand any of this because, like, if they, like, I thought they were fumbling the case in a way, especially perp walking him the way that they did and doing what they did to him. But at the same time, the highest conviction for the murder charge in the state court is literally life in prison. The highest conviction rate for highest conviction for the federal case on stalking is life in prison. The lawyers are trying to say, we admit that he did everything, but we only want the FBI and the FBI's judge to sentence him on the 18th for the stalking. We do not want the other judge from the state deciding based on this as well and stacking it on. But if the charge itself, either charge, is life in prison, what were we ever negotiating? Why didn't you just negotiate anything at that? Like, you know what I mean? Like, you just sat on it for that long, and then, like, you're like, right before trial, you're like, actually, we're gonna just plead guilty, and double jeopardy, whatever, blah blah blah. Like, what does it matter? It's all like either judge, any judge that's gonna sentence him on December 18th is gonna sentence him to life in prison, regardless of what the charge is. Is this some kind of blue-haired conspiracy to be like, he was never charged with murder? Who gives a fuck? He's still going to get the same sentencing. So you didn't even want to push back on the perp walk or the way they caught you in the McDonald's or anything?
We're an alert member of the public.
Weird.
Recognized Mangione, and local police took him into custody. That was not simply a lucky break. It was the culmination of 5 days of relentless investigative work that gave the public the information it needed to recognize the suspect and gave our law enforcement partners what they needed to act.
Tyler Robinson on
This case began with the worst kind of violence on our streets. It was answered by the very best of the New York City Police Department. To every member of the NYPD who played a role in this investigation, you should be enormously proud for bringing us to this day. And to those who idolize Luigi Mangione, I say this: violence is not a cause, murder is not a message, and a killer is certainly not a hero.
Right, so do not worship Big Pharma or insurance companies. Because remember, they do all those things as well.
Now I'd like to introduce the FBI's Assistant Director in Charge for the New York Field Office, Jim Barnacle.
Thank you, Commissioner. Good day. My name is James Barnacle. I'm the Assistant Director in Charge of the FBI New York Field Office. I want to begin by addressing the family, friends, and colleagues of Brian Thompson.
This is the one that got the plea.
We had the chance to sit down with the family this morning, and they are still grieving. And they have been grieving for almost 2 years as Brian was taken away in the most heinous way possible. They lost a son, a brother, a husband, and a father, and a friend to many colleagues and other people. The family deserves closure, the clarity, and the assurance that every step taken throughout our investigation, the New York City Police Department's investigation, the Altoona Police Department's investigation, and the U.S. Attorney's Office prosecution reflected the gravity of the situation and the importance of Brian's life. While today's plea doesn't replace the void he left behind, I hope it offers a glimmer of the closure that the Thompson family and friends deserve. This tragedy shocked the nation and left a deep impact on everyone it touched. Violence driven by hostility toward opportunity and success stands in sharp contrast to the values true Americans hold dear. But rest assured, this FBI...
I think he had to have somehow gotten himself to, like, whatever all this is, it's some kind of fucking spaghetti western with all these goddamn attorneys to figure out how to keep this guy in prison for the rest of his life, but not give him the death penalty. To keep the death penalty somehow off the table for the judge, because the judge has to give the highest thing, and for the highest thing to be life in prison. And for that to not be stackable, which means he's in prison for 40 to 45 years. So I think that's probably what's going to happen. I don't think that Tyler Robinson is going to get the same treatment. And I think it might actually build even deeper conspiracy theories again. Because again, like, I think that this was a little bit different than Tyler Robinson.
And our partners never stop working to bring this killer.
I think Tyler Robinson, the proof is like the crazy of them all. Like all the Discord messages, all the conversations. We'll get into the Candace and the great debate in a minute, guys, but...
Justice.
So let me just
While plea was entered
hold
today,
off on that.
We know the crime has not been erased. Thank you to the FBI's Violent Crime Task Force, our largest partner on that task force, the New York City Police Department, the New York State Police Department. Thank you to the prosecutors and the United States Attorney's Office for the Southern District of New York, led by Jamie McDonald. Thank you. And I want to thank the officers and detectives of the New York City Police Department, led by Commissioner Tisch, for your agency's unwavering pursuit of truth and accountability. Thank you, Commissioner. I'd also like to thank the Altoona Police Department of Pennsylvania and the Pennsylvania Department of Corrections, who helped facilitate the extradition to New York.
Thank you, everybody. We're not going to kill him.
And we wish the Thompson
everybody's
family
happy.
And
stays in prison for forever.
The legal process continues.
Healthcare company's happy. Crazy blue-haired lady can still keep writing her notes. We're all good. Tyler Robinson, though, bro's going to get like a fucking public hanging. He in Utah. And be like, actually, we're going to do it on the 4th of July. America 251, the hanging of Tyler Robinson. All right, here is the attorneys for him who only speak for fucking a minute. This is crazy.
2 simultaneous prosecutions in 2 jurisdictions who are trying to punish him twice for the exact conduct. He's been treated differently from every other defendant charged with this offense in New York. However, thankfully, New York law does not allow this. New York law does not permit a person to be prosecuted and punished twice for the exact same crime under a statute that governs successive prosecutions. It's also known as the double jeopardy.
Maybe she's just trying to word it as a win for herself. She's like, you know what I mean, being like for the crazies to be like, this is why we're doing all this. But reality, like, what the fuck? It doesn't make any sense. There's life in prison on either side.
Law. Today's guilty plea triggers this statute, and we just filed our motion in state court explaining why the state charges must be dismissed under New York's double jeopardy protections. We will not be taking any other questions. Thank you so much for coming.
That's a quick statement. Quick, simple statement, too, ain't it? All right, that's kind of weird. All right, now, Susan Collins, she's getting on a bus to go where? Nowhere. She's going to stay in her state. She's going to drive up and down Maine. It's a really, really long state, guys. She's going to do a bus tour. She's going to grab him by the pussy. Here is Susan Collins grabbing him by the pussy, guys. Woo! Grab him by the pussy.
I can't tell you how much it means to me. Thank you so much. I can't wait to get on the road on this beautiful Maine day.
She's already in the road. Yo, Susan Collins and RFK for greatest couple of all time. Let's go.
Maine business. I know Kevin.
I've been here for 50 years. She's going to get on a bus and drive around Maine. Woo! All right, now let's get serious for a second, guys. I really do actually want to watch this because this is a for real one. This is a fucking for real one. We fucked over the women of Afghanistan, and this is the UN Security Council president on 5th anniversary of Taliban takeover of Afghanistan. Let's take a listen. It's only 6 minutes long. Let's get
United
this
Nations
whole
Security
thing.
Council President Christina Marcus
They deserve at
Lasson
least this
marked
much
the 5th
attention.
anniversary
They deserve
of
a lot more
Taliban's
attention than they're
takeover of
getting.
Afghanistan. She spoke about the ongoing oppression of women and girls, the presence of terror groups, and humanitarian abuses in that country. Here's a look.
See a lot of faces I haven't seen for a while. That's great. All right. Good morning, everyone. I'm honored to deliver this statement on behalf of Albania, Andorra, Armenia, Australia, Austria, Belgium, Bosnia and Herzegovina, Bulgaria, Canada, Cape Verde, Colombia, Croatia, Cyprus.
I'm saying this at this point. It better end with "and the United States," or this is like the worst optics ever.
Czechia, Denmark, Estonia, Finland, France, Germany, Greece, Guatemala, Hungary, Iceland, Ireland, Israel, Italy, Japan, Latvia, Lebanon, Liberia, Lithuania, Luxembourg, Malta, Mexico, Moldova, Montenegro, Myanmar, Netherlands, New Zealand, North Macedonia, Norway, Panama, Poland, Portugal, Republic of Korea, Romania, San Marino, Slovakia, Slovenia, Spain, Sweden, Switzerland, United Arab Emirates, United Kingdom, United States, and
there we go. Woo. All right. Well, I know that everyone in the world is all making this statement. We're all gonna just like let this lady talk for 3 minutes. We're gonna like clap like this, go yay, and then just keep letting the women get abused in the one country that we all unilaterally are saying this statement about.
Years after the Taliban takeover of Afghanistan, we stand together as a broad cross-regional group of United Nations member states in solidarity with the Afghan people and we reaffirm our steadfast commitment to a future where all Afghans, without exception, can enjoy the fundamental rights, freedoms, and dignity in peace and prosperity. 5 years on, Afghanistan faces profound human rights, humanitarian, economic, and security challenges, placing immense pressure on the Afghan people and creating risk for the stability and security of neighboring countries and the wider region. The Taliban's systematic repression of women and girls has become a defining feature of the current system. Afghanistan remains the only country in the world where girls are banned from secondary and higher education. The grave abuse of the right to education is also having far-reaching consequences for Afghanistan's economic development and the provision of essential public services. Through an ever-expanding web of discriminatory decrees that further entrench discrimination and weaken women's legal protections, the Taliban continues to strip women and girls of their rights, dignity, and agency. The absence of inclusive governance continues to undermine prospects for lasting peace and stability in Afghanistan. Humanitarian needs remain acute. Human rights abuses persist, and terrorist groups continue to threaten the Afghan people and regional and international security. We reaffirm that terrorism in all its forms and manifestations constitutes one of the most serious threats to peace and security in Afghanistan, as well as in the world, and further reaffirm the demand that the territory of Afghanistan should not be used to threaten or attack any country, to plan or finance terrorist acts, or to shelter and train terrorists. We call on the Taliban to take active measures to strengthen its efforts to combat terrorism, including those individuals and groups, entities and undertakings designated by the Security Council. We are also deeply concerned by the shrinking civic space and the continued restrictions on the United Nations.
Wait, which from who? From who? Eat lead, bud? Doof, watch it. Very much watch it, okay? Okay, eat paint. Yes, yeah. Paint is better.
Including the prohibition on Afghan female
paint
UN
is better.
staff.
Okay.
These restrictions undermine the UN's ability to deliver critical assistance.
It's a close one, but it's no cigar.
Humanitarian aid alone cannot resolve Afghanistan's crisis. The Taliban must create the conditions for Afghans to rebuild their lives with dignity.
Adam, it's not like he even immediately reaffirmed that he did not mean lead. He meant lead as in lead paint. Immediately reaffirmed it. But yes, yeah, I get that. Like, let's not use lead because lead could be drawn that conclusion. I do believe him though as well because he jumped on it as soon as you called him out. So I mean, I get that. But let's watch. Fucking come on! If you're a mod, just be like a little careful.
Governance and security.
Don't get your lunatic libertarian on and then have to get remodded.
All discriminatory decrees and policies. Restore girls' rights to education. Ensure the full, equal, meaningful, and safe participation of women in all aspects of Afghan society, and respect the human rights and fundamental freedoms of all Afghans. We reaffirm our strong support for UNAMA, and we welcome the appointment of the new Special Representative of the Secretary General to Afghanistan, Ms. Rabab Fatima. We also urge the Taliban to engage constructively with UNAMA's leadership, including the Doha process, and to enable the United Nations to carry out its mandate without restriction and ensure safe, rapid, and unhindered humanitarian access. The Afghan people deserve our unwavering support for their quest to create a future built on rights.
Like, everyone is on board that these people are fucking over women. Just stop letting them get food. Just shut their fucking borders down. Afghanistan is the sand. Just starve them the fuck out. Fund Pakistan. Give Pakistan a bunch of drones.
Inclusion,
let's go.
Opportunity,
come on, something.
And security.
This one's the one that matters.
Today,
always did.
We renew our commitment to keeping Afghanistan high on the international agenda, to working through the United Nations, and to standing with the Afghan people. I thank you.
Wow, guys. All right, right now, double tap, hit that like button, hit subscribe. We are halfway through our hour on our runoff, and right now, Marco Rubio and Gavin Newsom are tied. They are neck and neck. If Gavin Newsom wins, then the next episode of our show, JD will be coming out of retirement. If Marco Rubio wins, he will only be one win away from Gavin Newsom. Get your vote in now. Make sure you double tap, hit that like button, hit subscribe, hit the notification bell. You are watching No News is News. We cover the news, both making fun of the left and the right and everything in pop culture across America, 7 days a week, at least 3 hours a day, sometimes 10 hours as long as we stay above 100 members throughout the day. Hit that join button, become a comrade, help support the channel, keep us independent and sponsor free. $5 super chat, add somebody to the poll of the day. $10 super chat, remove somebody from the poll of the day. Help support the channel. Let's keep it going now. Up next, we got Mr. Florida Governor DeSantis, and he is doing a press conference. Probably something boring, and then we're going to cut away from him and go into the Candace Owens, but let's at least get the front of this, because this is he's like 5th or 6th on the presidential perspectives right now.
Reps Partington, I think Senator Tom Leek.
Something with a drone.
You're going to be the head after Boyd or two after that? After Trumbull. And is that set in stone? Like if you screw up, could you lose it, or are you good? Okay, all right, so good. Well, Tom Leek's done a great job. We got Rep Soroy here. We have Carmen, who's the superintendent of Volusia County Schools. South Daytona City Councilman Eric Sanders as well is here. So I know we got a lot more people that are here. We've got two announcements, which I think a lot of people will want. One is just to piggyback off what we announced on, I think it was Monday or Tuesday, at the Sun Tracks, where we were in front of the autonomous vehicles. We had the vertiports. Okay. We're one of only a handful of states that US DOT has certified as a place for advanced air mobility. We've got 2 vertiports there. I'll talk a little bit more.
Advanced air mobility? Bro's trying to turn Florida into the next fucking Area 51 for AI.
About what those do. They also had, so the Sun Tracks we've had in Polk County, it's tested all kinds of different traffic solutions and the way traffic flows and this and that, and that has really evolved into things like autonomous vehicles. So we had things that there was a Waymo behind me, and then there was a Cybercab from Tesla. We actually went in and did a drive in the Tesla robotaxi. And, you know, it's a test track, so there's all kinds of hurdles that come at you, but you're just sitting there, it's driving, and some kid comes in the road, it stops. Then you're going, and a car cuts you off, and it swerves to get away. You'll have a police officer stop traffic. It obeys the officer. This is just all by its...
I love how this guy's doing a press conference to explain this to the masses because people refuse to get into an electric vehicle. But I have this car... And this car has been doing this for me for a year now. So it's kind of like, there's this amazing technology. Have you ever been in a Waymo? And it's like, yeah, he kind of has to do that, though. He has, but like, it's insane that there's this many people in America that don't understand that, like, driverless cars are way better.
Nobody's doing anything for it. You even had a tire going in the middle of the road, and it avoided that. So, and part of it is, you know, humans, we have certain things that you know, maybe
distract
the machines will never quite get, but they have cameras every single place, so the vision is just going to be better than with a human being, certainly than with a distracted human being. But all that's being done. I know that a lot of this stuff has been put out into circulation in Florida, various parts of the country, but there's still a lot of safety testing and all that being done. So we were excited to see, because we kind of started that when I first became governor, and to now just see how far it goes. You know, they have different, some of these companies, you know, these people that will drive these Teslas will tell me they get in, they just press the button and it just drives them to where they want to go. And people are like, really? And like, they're like, yeah, I haven't really touched the wheel in a long time. So this stuff's happened relatively quickly.
It's not. It hasn't happened. Like, I've had it for over a year. You guys are just like, you refuse to get in an electric vehicle.
In the last 5 or 6 years,
And so fucking Google and Waymo needed to build you a Jaguar for $100,000 a piece. That's how much those gas ones cost.
Announcing that we are going to be doing these vertical lift test flights at the Sun Tracks there in Central Florida. And what those are is they're called eVTOLs, and it's kind of a hybrid between a little small plane and a helicopter, but it can just take off. It doesn't need a runway. It can just vertically lift off, but then it can accelerate more like a fixed-wing aircraft. And so they have propellers, they have different things. The ones that are really coming to market now are battery-powered. I think ultimately you're going to see some at least hybrid, because the military, they want jet fuel. It just goes further and all that. So at least have the fuel option. But these are electric.
He's literally announcing to the public what the UAPs were. They don't need a landing pad. They're not a helicopter. They just kind of float up. Eventually we'll end up getting jet-fueled ones so that they can go really fast. No. They already have them. They're flying all over the fucking place. Holy shit. And now he's announcing a commercial version of that to Florida.
So they're very quiet. So you can go, you lift off, and then go and then land. And I think the range right now is about 100 miles. But if you think about
for the commercial ones that you're telling the public about, this is exactly what it is. This is what a UAP is.
Navigate some of these really difficult to drive areas. So if you land in Tampa Airport and you want to go to Disney World or Universal, you could potentially just leapfrog I-4 entirely. Now, we've done a lot on I-4. We did the temporary land.
If you've ever lived in Florida, this is he's like, look, I'm trying to build us the ultimate solution to I-4. We literally get in this little tiny vehicle. It's not even a helicopter. It just jumps over I-4. We get into Disney World without ever having to go to I-4. We go from the airport directly into Disney World. He's like, do you hear me? Florida's like, we hear you. All right, guys, let's get into it now. Let's get into the news now here. First up, we got some crazy news going on with, I think it's something to do with, breaking news. U.S. aircraft carrier en route to the Middle East. 2 hours ago, Fox News.
Good evening, I'm Jackie Heinrich, and this is your Fox News Report. The man accused of shooting and killing UnitedHealthcare CEO Brian Thompson pleads guilty to federal stalking charges. Luigi Mangione stating, quote, I shot Mr. Thompson and he died. Federal sentencing is scheduled for December 18th. He faces life in prison. Alec Murdaugh back in a South Carolina courtroom today ahead of his upcoming murder retrial. In 2023, he was convicted of killing his wife and son. That was overturned when the state Supreme Court ruled a former court clerk tampered with the jury. Murdaugh maintains his innocence. The retrial is scheduled for April next year.
Oh, my God.
The USS George Washington is en route to the Middle East, replacing the USS Abraham Lincoln, completely misrepresented. A salmonella recall on over
it's
a
coming
million
from the
cartons of
military
eggs has been
fucking
upgraded to
newspaper.
Class
What are
1,
you
the
talking
highest
about?
risk level. It includes eggs sold in several states with.
Our military says you left them on a boat for 250 days, but fucking the Jewish News Network says, Pete Hegseth says,
Best by or sell by dates ranging from July 20th through
and then they
August 17th.
bring a new aircraft there.
Widespread alerts across the Hawaiian Islands as Tropical Storm Lala continues to strengthen, but things are still relatively calm
Tropical
now.
Storm Lala. That's the most ridiculous name ever. Let's hope this one doesn't create history.
Expected tomorrow morning when the
fucking Lala.
Hurricane. In Washington, I'm Jackie Heinrich. Have a great night.
All right.
President Trump is
There we go.
downplaying
Now,
concerns
this is the report. This is the deep dive by CNN into the report. I'm thankful for this report. Basically, it shows that we still have freedom in America, okay? A bunch of fucking Marines were left on a naval vessel for 250 days because every single day they want to use the aircrafts to drop more bombs, to do more strikes, to do counter strikes, to fight things off defensively, etc. in the Iranian war. And as we discussed on the Johnny Harris episode, I think, or it was the World War III episode, the Gulf nations aren't allowing us to use our land bases. So the only way for us to counter-strike and actually strike Iran is to take one of these fucking aircrafts off of one of these ships. Well, they left the Abraham Lincoln, USS Abraham Lincoln, there for 250 days. And then eventually a bunch of people started protesting. They jumped in the water, all kinds of stuff to protest. And then the military newspaper picked it up. And then because of that, the New York Times picked up the military newspaper. It became a huge story yesterday around like 2 p.m. And by 4 p.m. they said, oh, they're finishing their mission off and we're sending a vessel to relieve them. There were phone calls and pleas from wives, etc. I'm just glad we don't live in a country where those things are silenced. And I don't really know what you would do if you're Pete Hegseth or Donald Trump, because you really fucked that one up. But there's not really much you could do because you really needed to keep them out there as long as you possibly could. But it is a world record for longest time ever at sea, and they're at like day 252 right now. And nobody knew about it until they all started chirping up together because just mental health. And their wives are doing press conferences saying, my husband calls me every day and says he hopes he doesn't wake up. So there's a lot of, there was a lot there, but also glad that like we got it out. And here is CNN to kind of break down the entire story. Of course they're going to push it towards the administration, but kind of don't they deserve it for, not listening before it got to this level?
Military families worried about conditions on board the USS Abraham Lincoln. The aircraft carrier had its deployment extended earlier this year to support the war with Iran. Its sailors have now been at sea for more than 250 days and more than 200 days without a port call, breaking a record. Families have raised concerns about the serious mental toll the deployment is taking on the crew. And CNN has learned a sailor jumped from the ship earlier this month. The Navy says the USS George Washington carrier group is heading to the Middle East to relieve the Lincoln. Joining us now, Democratic Congressman Chris Deluzio, a Navy veteran and a member of the House Armed Services Committee. And Congressman, I want us to first listen again to what we heard from the president when he was boarding Air Force One this afternoon.
Well, no, that ship is moving. No, they're not. That ship is moving right now.
He goes, no, they're not. They're not worried about it anymore because that ship is moving and we're already relieving it with another boat. I get it. That is the political response. I guess if you want to still be upset at him for doing it, you can. I just told you the strategy, which is we can't do any land counter strikes to Iran. So you either don't strike Iran and you leave ourselves vulnerable to only defense mechanisms on all of our land bases and all 7 Gulf nations, or you keep the Marines out there on the fucking boat. But these are the things that happen.
And it's being replaced with another.
And I'm very glad that we are fucking expediting that they're not saying too bad. Because that's the thing, is they could say too bad, and they could say that's fake. And they're not. They're just immediately moving forward.
Congressman, what's your reaction to the president's words there?
When Donald Trump's turn to serve in Vietnam came, he dodged the draft. And for him to tell the families of those service members who've spent more days at sea than any American sailors in modern history is just a disgrace. He should go and say that to the faces. Right to the face.
The people that are on that boat know exactly what he's doing. He's telling the press to shut up and move on because he's very embarrassed that even happened, and he's taking care of it.
To the family members and see what they have to say about
because
that.
We're
Such
in the middle
disrespect
of a war. You can't just
for sailors and Marines under his command. He's the commander-in-chief. And he is responsible ultimately for the conditions of the captains that he puts in command of the carrier strike group that's affecting these sailors and Marines. That is his responsibility, and he should take some accountability. That's disgraceful stuff.
You've been at sea with the Navy, so you understand the lifestyle. Have you had conversations with your fellow Navy veterans across the aisle about what Congress needs to do and can do right now?
Well, we're out of session away from Washington. The Republican leadership sent us out some weeks ago. But I think the Armed Services Committee should get to the bottom of this. I've been part of efforts to get answers about the treatment of personnel aboard the Lincoln. This should not be a partisan fight. Republicans should join us. I don't care if that's getting the secretary in front of us or getting a congressional delegation on the carrier to find out what's happening. Families are sharing reports of what's gone on with offices like mine and offices all over the country. They are saying clearly that their loved ones, their sailors and Marines, are not being treated well, are pushed to the brink. And remember, they've been at sea now for months and months. They went more than 200 days without a port visit. That is horrible for any sailor in any condition, yet these are folks supporting combat operations, accepting and launching aircraft, doing all the things that you would do in tough environments. It's really, really brutal on these sailors and Marines.
How many families have you heard from, Congressman, and what specifically are they telling you?
Look, I want to respect the confidentiality of those conversations because my sense, and there's been reporting of this, is that there is fear of reprisal for their service members. So I'm going to respect that confidentiality. But there have been plenty of reports of family members reaching out to offices like mine, talking about the conditions, talking about food, lack of mail, how tired and stressed out their sailors are. And again, if you were just, deployed at sea, out to sea for a month, that'd be a long time because you're on watch, you're doing your job. Ships work 24/7. When you put on top of that combat operations and going 200 days without a port visit, you see the problem, you see the stress these folks are under. It's really unacceptable. We got to get to the bottom of what's gone on to our sailors and Marines.
Now is the father of a U.S. service member who is serving on the USS Abraham Lincoln. First of all, a huge thank you to them for their service and to your family for your sacrifice. I know this can be hard on families too. So when we spoke before this, you described your child as, quote, proud of what they're doing out there, while simultaneously saying, they're ready to come home. Tell us, how are they doing and how are you doing with the deployment?
Well, all of us parents miss our children very much, and I know we're all very proud of them. As far as my particular child, I've heard pretty positive feedback about the conditions there, although I noticed the sailor saying the work is repetitive. That is something that we hear a lot, and we understand that they're under a lot of mental stress and have nothing but sympathy and respect for the hardships and the stress that are inherent to the operation that they're.
All right, guys, now we're here. We're watching the full Candace Owens debate. Candace Owens is debating a random white guy from Joe Rogan's podcast. Nobody knows who the fuck this Andrew guy is. He's just some guy, okay? Because we couldn't get anybody to actually debate Candace Owens. And then the person that is going to moderate this is a grifting real estate, buy my membership, come to my seminar, Kelchi isn't actually betting grifter, Patrick Bet David. All right, guys, so it is basically a walking, talking, leftist version of My Pillow guy doing a conspiracy about the 2020 election. That's my feeling coming into it, okay? I did get one clip of Candace. I know I'm going to get a little annoyed and upset. We're going to start watching this, okay? But I'm going to try to give everyone here the benefit of the doubt, clean my head off, and go, this guy isn't a grifter. Candace Owens is a reporter who wrote a book and cares deeply about her friend Charlie Kirk. And this Andrew guy is trying to explain to Candace Owens because he genuinely believes that, transgender people are murdering everybody out there or something. I don't know. But we're gonna give everybody their equal opportunity. Double tap, hit that like button, guys. Keep the conversation going. Let's get into it. What are your feelings on Charlie Kirk? What are your feelings on Tyler Robinson? Throw in the conspiracies. Get it unloaded now, guys, because we need to get that chat back up above 100 members here in the next 10 minutes. Keep us running. Let's go. The great debate. Live? Oh, also, we're not going to watch it from Patrick Bet David's channel because that was a 4-hour 9-cut live stream. And there was a simul live stream on Candace Owens' podcast They're both live streamed at the same time, so I know it's the same cut of the same program, but hers is only 3 hours and 9 minutes long, or 3 hours and 11 minutes long. So I truly believe that hers is probably just the actual debate, and I'm getting it from her, rather than playing the Patrick Bet-David one, which is about 4 hours, an extra extended hour, probably adds in all of his infomercials and grifting garbage.
Okay, so we're officially live. Candace, Andrew, good to sit down here with you, talking to you guys about
give everybody a chance,
the conversation
guys.
that I think started
Okay?
with you
Give
being
everybody
on Joe
a chance
Rogan
here.
when you said, "Hey, I'm offering $300,000." And for the audience watching this, you have to know when you see this final product, there's a lot of stuff that happens behind closed doors. There was still communication till midnight. Even some of the stuff this morning, it's like you're trying to sell a company. It's the last 24 hours that the deal doesn't work out. But kudos to the both of you guys that you made it work. The topic of discussion today, how this got prompted is, Andrew, you said there's overwhelming evidence that Tyler Robinson shot and killed Charlie Kirk. And Candace, your position was he's a patsy. Tyler Robinson is a patsy. So, of course, we'll talk about a lot of different things, but that's kind of how the whole thing got started. For the audience watching, I think this is truly for three different people. Number one is anybody out there that loves Charlie, respects Charlie, his legacy, what he did. We have a lot of love and admiration for what he did. He changed the lives of many people.
Again, for me, I first met Charlie Kirk when he was 18 years old on the campus of Iowa University when we were both door knocking for Ron Paul in January of 2012.
Young men, young women, you worked with him for many years. You guys were friends.
That's my perspective.
You've said a lot of good things about Charlie, respectful towards him. You guys may have disagreed on some things, but you had a lot of respect for him. The second audience is the folks out there, you, that's watching this. And so for you, you've been wanting something like this to take place, and kudos for Andrew for coming out and saying, hey, I want to have this conversation, and for Candace to accept it. So you have the ability to say, I agree, I disagree, comment, do all the stuff that you're doing online, and if you want to see more of these things, any of the three channels subscribe to them, the Candace Show, the Crucible, I'm sure some of the people from Crucible are watching as well, and the PBD Podcast. The more you subscribe to this, the more we're able to deliver these types of conversations to you. And
okay, so the Andrew guy literally offered $300,000, so he had to come up with the money. So he's trying to build this channel
Last
out.
but not least, it's about the two of you. My goal is to speak as little as possible. 99% of the time, it'll be you guys speaking, and the audience will be able to see it. If I jump in, just so everybody knows on the back end, both have agreed. In the back, there's 3 people representing Andrew and 3 people representing Candace to do fact checking. So at any point, if somebody makes a claim, the other can say, can we fact check this? I can jump in and say, fact check this. Even the folks in the back can say, fact check this. So it is a very fair conversation that we're having here. And so with that being said, kudos to Michael Knowles. Your name was mentioned a lot. You missed out right now. The last 10 minutes, we talked about you. There's a lot of love and respect here mutually from both parties, all 3 of them here. And then, of course, the great Joe Rogan that started this conversation. And he also volunteered, but it ended up being this format that we have here today. So with that being said, Andrew.
I think it's because he paid for it. I think it's because Patrick David paid for it. I think it's because they had to come up with $300,000 and Joe Rogan wasn't going to pay $300,000 for fucking Candace Owens to do the shit. So yeah, they had the conversation with Joe Rogan and he said that he would give him $300,000 for it, and then he had to come up with the fucking financing to actually give her $300,000 because she wasn't going to do it for free. And Patrick Bet-David, the grifter over here, fucking has the money. With that said, guys, oh my God, no way. Look at that. Look at that, guys. 51% Marco Rubio, 49% Gavin Newsom. Marco Rubio wins another one, becomes one closer to Gavin Newsom. It's 21-22. J.D. Vance stays retired. This is the end of this episode, but we are going to come back for Candace Owens in this debate and watch the entire thing in its entirety, guys, on the Candace Owens channel, of course, with over 2.1 million views already 9 hours ago. Yeah, so make sure you double tap, hit that like button, hit subscribe, go sit on the channel and wait for the next live stream to pop up. I will be back with you in about 5 minutes and we will go through all of that. Thank you all for tuning in once again. Daddy Trump doing all that weird shit and all that stuff. Double tap, hit that like button, hit subscribe, hit the join button. super chat, etc. Fucking blah, blah, blah. Help everybody. Help somebody. Help me. All right? Because I also need help. All right? I'll see y'all in a minute. Peace.